Hey everyone, James here. Thanks for tuning in and watching another episode of SNKronize here. Just wanted to clear up something. I know last week the video that I put up I titled episode 7. This week again is episode 7. I actually counted wrong. There were actually only 5 previous episodes to last week, so I've renamed last week's episode to number 6. This is now number 7. I'm going to be uploading these little by little, so episode 1 should be following up very soon after this one gets uploaded as well. So please enjoy SNKronize episode 7 officially this time, and go back in time and watch SNKronize episode number 1 when that gets uploaded as well. Peace, guys. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of SNKronize, where we're going to go and talk God, my hair is...
It's large.
My hair is just crazy here. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not even try to do it.
So hi everyone, we're here now with our weekly SNK podcast thing, whatever, stream, all the things.
Right.
First things first, what we do is we're going to watch the new trailer.
Yep, and I guess the new character just dropped, so we'll get that. But then, obviously, a lot of things to talk about on the stream today. There's a lot of very interesting things to discuss.
We've had a lot of different updates and news. We've got people doing things.
And cats are going insane over here. Oh my god. You silly kitty.
Let me just deactivated.
Mwah.
All right, get that squish face out of here.
All right, let's go and find out what do we got here for the new character.
Lord,
what are these cats doing?
They're
He's scared by nothing. Okay, refresh and okay. Yeah.
The brother.
Yeah, so let's do this.
So that we basically now already know who next week is.
Yeah, basically, it's pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah.
As you can already see. Oh my gosh, Taku
Good
with the
Lord.
5 gifted. Dude, Ultra David got gifted. So.
I mean, works for me. I'm totally fine with this.
Ultra David is now a sub on the Chensor Dynasty.
It makes sense to me. He should be able to use your emotes.
Yeah.
Right?
And then Shinkan, June Wilson, Raph, of course. Shoutouts to Raph. And truly a miracle. Sigma Nuts, Cat Nuts to all of you guys out there. So I'm going to let these play through. Truly a miracle should be the last one before we run through this trailer. Should I just leave Kyo here on this trailer the whole time?
Shrink him down a little bit.
Shrink him down?
Just a little bit.
Actually, you know what I'll do? Instead of shrinking him down, because I've positioned him super properly
Transparency.
here, yeah, I'll just make him more transparent, basically, here.
That works.
I must return to my home planet.
So,
right.
I mean, obviously, this is available on YouTube, so if you want to watch it on your own without Kyo in the way, you can do it on your own. Yeah.
Easy to do.
So yeah, let's get to it.
It's going to be kind of loud, but we won't. During the first run, we're not really talking too much through it and stuff like that. So
other than Molly going oh shit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So all right, let's do this. It is going to be apparently Mr. Andy Bogard. Here we go. All right, and he's beating up on Joe.
He's pretty.
He looks younger. It's almost unsettling how much younger he looks. It's a this game. Whoa, what the hell?
Shatter all expectations.
The Sagato trauma is real. Good lord.
I never really thought about this, but Andy's, like little launch and kick is very kind of similar to my little Shinobi Bachi.
There's a good reason for that.
Right. Is there a lore reason for that?
Yeah, they both studied under the same master.
Oh, really?
Okay. I mean, really deep cut lore is after everything went down with Andy and Terry's adopted dad getting murdered by geese. They studied some martial arts, and then they split apart and traveled the world and studied a second martial art.
Oh, interesting.
And what happened was Terry studied under Tongue, and then Andy found the Shiranui school.
Oh, and that's where he met Mai, and that's why Mai's obsessed with Andy then, basically.
It's among the reasons.
Shoutouts to
Bezos money.
Bezos money. Yeah, there you go.
That Bezos money.
Sigma Nuts Cat Butts to Hiro-kun. Thank you very much. So, she's still chasing him.
I mean, technically true. They're a couple, but yeah, they're not married or anything.
No, it's just that there's just that one line from the Audio Atrocities website from the Bust a Move game that I swear to God, me and my friends are just upset. You know about the site, obviously, right? You know about this site here? Audio Atrocities? Oh, this is...
Oh, I think so. I've heard of it, but I've never really dug into it.
This is basically one of my favorite websites. It's not updated anymore, unfortunately, but it's the worst voice clips in video games, and this one will always make me laugh.
Oh, they're still chasing me. Wah!
That's magnificent.
Even trying to imitate this, me and my friends have not been able to imitate it properly to sound as unenthusiastic as she does. So,
oh, they're still chasing me. Wah! Oh.
I don't think I could pay someone to underperform that well.
Right.
Okay, we don't talk about the FF10 laugh. That's intentionally bad.
Right, yeah.
So,
it's a different thing.
Yeah, that's really bad. Anyways, this one looks like it's definitely mostly 14 Andy. But his new fireball's fucking lit.
That's crazy. It was going... Well, we'll see this in just a second. I'm playing this at super slow speed right now.
Maybe half. I'm glad he got back the arcing kick break.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, so basically what they decided is since he wasn't in Mark of the Wolves, it's okay to let him have the occasional Mark of the Wolves mechanic. So they let him break this move to turn it into a raw launcher.
But again, just nicely done. Look at that. Nicely. It's a largely the same blur effect that they keep using, but still they're using it to effective levels. And I'm assuming as these trailers keep getting made, we've seen evidence of this that they're using later and later builds, right?
Yeah.
So
So it's always fun to dig into some of the backgrounds.
Right.
Or, I want to look at Mai when she pops up here for a moment and see if there's any clear differences yet.
Yeah, you can already see just a kind of little nice effect. Oh, did you see how it clears up there too? It's actually really nicely done there.
So Mai's model was apparently updated. Someone already noticed.
Oh, really? Okay.
And yeah, it does look very much like his pupil's version of the move.
Right.
Because, since Andy wasn't in Mark of the Wolves, his pupil was in his place. Right. And I hate that little runt.
But like I said, this just nicely how it bleeds away like that. But again, the outfit is fired. Literally. Yeah,
Hokutomaru. That's another one of those, once it passes 4 or 5 syllables, I do not know where to put my inflection properly, so I pass at it.
But like I said, I feel like the face looks very kind of different-ish, or...
he has a couple of parts of his features which are a little sharper, but otherwise, it's about right. And the thing is, I'm not sure how I feel about this still, but once he goes in-game, he looks
because it's weird, because, for some reason, I always picture Terry and Andy as older-looking. I always picture them being older.
That's kind of also one of the things with 14 and 15 is everyone looks a little younger.
Yeah, and so I think that's what kind of threw me off, because he looks like he's early 20s here, late.
Yeah, maybe late 20s compared to sometimes he looks like early to mid 30s.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, But yeah, people are saying compared to 14, he looks way better.
Yes.
So no, I'm not saying the face looks ugly at all.
He does look like Claw, actually. that's not incorrect.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm just saying that it's not what I think of Andy as. Like, look at this.
He looks fucking gorgeous right there.
I mean,
like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like supermodel status here, honestly. Yeah, like Razalicious just said, he looks like a freaking model here, it looks like. So, there you go. Andy Bogard.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually kind of true, too. He does look way more jacked than he's ever looked, too.
Yeah, because he's always been kind of thin. Oh, shout outs to Ruiz. Thanks, Thirsty Games.
Did they finally nerf destroys in KOF?
What the?
Schmo 77 Karen Pog.
What's that? Schmo 77 Karen Pog. Okay, there we go. But there's the standard Andy sweep. And see, look, actually, the animation on that sweep was good. I kind of like the way that sweep looked, how the leg comes back in.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nicely done. It's like I said, I almost feel like they're probably tweaking things as it goes.
You know what? Honestly, I feel like part of this also is they had to make him fucking gorgeous to make up for 14's reveal in the memes.
What do you mean?
When 14 was revealed and it was in kind of rough shape, Andy became one of the meme pictures for how 14 looks bad.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember that.
So now, like, that was the point of the Tekken joke earlier, is because people were like, Tekken on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And so now he looks fucking gorgeous.
They're like, okay, let's put all of our budget into him instead of Kim Cat-One.
Let's shatter their expectations.
Yeah. Dude, even like the string meshing on the side of his outfit is really cool too. It's like I said, I just think that the fashion, whoever they hired for the fashion to do,
or whoever they let just like take the reins.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I mean, like, I'm not a fashion person, but the thing is, like, this isn't just like these characters look cool. It's like, it's not like crazy, I've got 900 belts.
Yeah, it's not anime or superhero.
Right, like Shunei was the only one that looks like that. You know what I mean? But
and the thing is, like, in certain parts of the world, he doesn't even look out of place.
Right.
In fact, he's almost too vanilla for some of them.
What it is that, like, right now, it looks like to me, like, this is like fashionable, but you would see them dress like this in real life. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it looks to me, which is kind of neat. Because has his outfit ever looked like this before?
It's definitely an improved version of 1 or 2 games.
Okay.
Like 14's is pretty similar, but this is definitely a massive upgrade. And yeah, like there's a lot of like real bout feel going on, like Alias is saying.
What is Joda Branded giving me here? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That one, yeah. That was the one. But I mean, this is an old man reference, but I mean, he looks like a Hot Wheel. You know? Like Hot Wheels used to have like these little flaming cars, multicolors and stuff. Yeah.
I definitely had one of the color changing Hot Wheels, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's all I've been saying like pretty much the whole time, Katy Perry. Is, oh my god, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's
yeah, especially I really like the bangs that aren't staying in place at all.
Yeah.
I didn't think Hot Wheels was that old of a reference, though. Like,
I don't know. It's something
it's
something I associate with because Hot Wheels was the toy that my brother and I were obsessed with before He-Man, before Transformers, and then video games.
Yeah, no, Hot Wheels is still around.
Yeah.
I definitely have one. I've considered picking up some of like the Mario ones.
Get out of here. That's a CD right there.
Yeah, CD, still wall splats.
Yeah, okay.
It definitely looks, actually, the CD, I think, actually looks a little faster to recover on hit than it used to.
Now, see, again, nice effects.
Yeah, I like how they really want to emphasize how fast this move is supposed to be.
I mean, it was always supposed to have that feel to it. Like, kind of
but like the EX one having like that major blur, and it goes really far.
Wait, show the CD again, you say?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, just so he hits him with the CD.
Thwack!
And back to neutral like that without a cancel. Like, that's pretty good. He can probably just follow up with the EX elbow for free.
Yeah, it would be interesting because Terry's design is so iconic. Like, I think it would be cool if
there's still like 3 Terrys.
Yeah, I guess that's true because Garu Terry is a big deal.
Yeah, Mark the Wolf's Terry, and then 14 got his update too.
Right, yeah.
Which I mean, I like the 14 one because it definitely is a much more like reasonable and modern take on old Terry. But, I mean, I love Mark of the Wolves bomber jacket, monster of the Terry Bogard.
There's was that EX? Was he yellow at first? Or? Yeah, he was. Okay. So interesting that the yellow faded away during the move.
Yeah, it's just long enough, and it only matters on startup pretty much.
Right. So this is interesting. Has Andy always had a fireball?
No.
No,
not
right?
always. He's had it like once or twice, but like, yeah, he doesn't really get a full fireball.
Yeah. No, honestly, Alias, I've been saying that every week.
Yeah.
I don't think that
there you go. 13, he had a normal fireball.
Yeah, but I mean, even compared to other games, like, okay, if you compare it to Tekken, right? But like, if you compare it to Soul Calibur 6, if you compare it to even Street Fighter 5, like, it's pretty on par with a lot of it. And like I said, I like the fact that they have the cell shaded look to it, right? So.
And yeah, I do believe 98EX version had the fireball, because 98's EXs were typically like late stage Fatal Fury.
But so does this mean that this fireball goes through all other fireballs, or does that not count as a fireball move?
I think the other way around. I think Shune's now counts, Shune's doesn't count as a fireball, and it isn't destroyed by it.
Oh, look.
Oh, she has been updated.
Oh, yeah. Look at her belt.
Immensely.
Look at the belt. Look at the design on the
her
belt.
Her waistline seems slimmer. She definitely has had some makeup applied.
That's right, because this is... I totally missed that she was even in here in the first place, actually.
In the most polite way I can phrase this, her chest has been reshaped.
Hi, me bouncy.
Because I mean, in the launch trailer, they kind of were torpedo-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely been a lot of reshaping and updating.
I mean, she seems kind of mad at Andy right now. I mean,
because they're not on the same team, so she's probably cussing him out for it.
Oh man.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, jeez.
But you know,
okay.
the thing.
Just to let you know that reaction of oh shit is definitely going to be the synchronized Twitter icon for the next week.
Oh shit!
I'm definitely screen grabbing that.
Oh shit! Oh man.
So yep, and he's got that DP, which automatically the EX goes into the second one, which I'm pretty sure is the way 14 was.
Yeah, pretty standard. And
then taunt.
Damn,
I'm pretty.
He fucking brushes his hair now too, dude. He is definitely open for business right here, dude. Look at this guy here. Well, actually, Mai probably doesn't want to hear that, so never mind. I'll take that back.
There's so much man, I'm pretty.
Level 2.
Yep, and then he's got the old Fireball Super, which I really like the flare on that. I want to see that raw, like see all the effects of the Fireball.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looks really pretty.
Yeah, we'll watch the trailer at normal speed one more time.
Yeah.
Here we go. Another level 2 looks like.
Yeah. And this one's the Flame Kick.
Right. Ding, 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 ding.
I really like them like incorporating a lot more of the blue effects for him.
The which one?
Like no, all of his effects have more of a blue tint to them.
Oh, okay.
Without it looking like as glowy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's hard to say. I just really like the blue effects.
Standard 3-hit combo. Here we go. This looks like
the launch into break.
Now, is this so that's the start of it into break, basically?
Yeah, that's the startup of the jumping flame arcing kick thing. And then typically you press the roll button, so both lights, and you interrupt right there. And then it goes into an alternate end and just cancels.
Okay, because I saw a different break.
Did you?
This right here. This was...
Oh, no, that just recovers fast enough.
But has he always done that?
I think in 14 he could. It just wasn't as cool.
Okay. Andy does have 2 breaks. Okay. Yeah, because he went into a straight up tumble there.
Or was it just that 14 he wasn't that good, so it didn't matter how cool he had it? Yeah, there's Kitty.
Pretty boy Andy here.
Oh yeah. I knew Kitty was going to be excited for how pretty he is right now.
Oh, and so he did have it in 14. This is the target right here.
Was he actually B even after all the rebalancing? Like he just seemed.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I to be completely honest, I only think Andy is fun in like 02, and he's not good in 02. he's got like a couple of cool tools, but.
And there's the wall splat into the continued combo, into the juggle. This is the level 1 fireball.
Oh, actually,
there.
can we go back a little bit? I want to see that again real quick. Yeah. So
here, just boom into the level 1, because it's the blue gathering, and there's still no glow, but he can do level 1 into level 3.
And again, more to a point, is he's still super canceled.
Right.
Yeah, O2 Andy's fine. Vanilla, he was.
Right.
But I think is I really like that weird like flip kick thing he got in O2.
Right.
I mean, I would like to see Lin, but I definitely would rather see Dualon.
Lin? Which one is Lin again?
Bald dude with the ninja mask and the like giant ponytail, and that's it.
Yeah,
and he was all
right.
like stabby poison wreckers and stuff.
Yeah.
I like everyone of that clan, so.
Yeah, this is the same clip that they used at the beginning there, poor Joe.
And it's pretty much just his same level 3 that he had in 14.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Well, those are the 3 playables there have ever been, is Lin, Dualon, and Xiaolon. Then there's the 4 unplayables. It's only been 4, right?
No, you're right though. But because of that meme, they probably were like, "We need to make Andy look
but
good."
I mean, again, with them updating Mai's character model so much, I feel like they were like, we have to let people know Mai is in the game because we don't want a repeat of the 12-13 fiascos. But we still want to put a lot of work into her before her trailer.
Right? Yeah, I want to make sure she looks good here. So.
It's such a sick way to open the trailer.
I know, right?
And again, this pretty much just means next week is Terry.
Yeah. But I'm kind of excited to see how they're going to redesign him,
Fireball's so cool.
Yeah, mine was there for like half a second, but she looks so good.
Blue swirl.
We still don't have like an official release of this game. It's just this year, theoretically.
Apparently, there have been some reports on like I think is what they said. Like we might get it as soon as like September or October.
Shatter all
But
expectations.
if they need to delay it for certain things, which we'll talk about. Actually, we can just talk about now if you want.
Yeah, so the big thing that happened last week, the greatest thing that this game needed to have announced, was at least talked about.
Yes, I mean, not necessarily officially announced, but you know what? They talked about it, and
well, I mean, it is worth noting that it did come from Oda's account,
right?
Which is as close to official as we can get out of the scenario.
Right. It's just, I mean, obviously. Okay, here, let me just pull this out for you guys.
Pull up the tweet itself.
Yeah, I can get this from over here, actually.
Oh, do you screen grab it or something?
No. It's because I know David has a direct link to it over here.
Ah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
I mean, it's still in like the 10 most recent Oda tweets anyway.
Yeah, but it's just easier if I just do this. Okay, so
yeah.
Black.
The good.
The good, right?
I mean, you can just hit control and like zoom in on it, even just make it fill the whole screen, just this one block. Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Great to see lots of passionate SNK rollback fans. You will be happy to hear that we have been working hard on an internal rollback solution for KOFXV from early in the dev cycle. There is still a lot of work remaining, so we can't make any promises yet. So please be patient. Where's the number? I just want to make sure it's back to 100. That's all. It's 90, 100.
Coolsies.
But there you go.
So there are... Oh yeah, just throw it on loop while we talk, maybe?
No, I was just going to leave it on beautiful Andy over here like this.
He is beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, that means that we are pretty much getting some sort of rollback.
Maybe, if they can make it work, it's what it sounds like, right? They said they can't promise anything.
Well, that's true, but it's also like, I think from any sort of corporate standpoint, they can't just declare it.
Right.
They can say they're working on it. They can't say we have it without it being, then becomes like an investor problem. It becomes like they have to time it with stockholders and stuff like that.
Right.
So, like, they can't outright just do it.
Right.
More to a point, though, is that there is one thing that I found interesting about that tweet.
Okay.
And admittedly, this might be because Americans were the ones louder and bitchier, and we needed the answer more. That tweet's only in English.
Right. There's no Japanese version of it.
And I found that kind of interesting. I think that's the word we'll go with.
Right.
Like, it's not like it's encouraging or discouraging or anything like that. I mean, there's probably...
I just need to get a drink.
It's probably just a matter of Americans needed to hear it, and if a Japanese player using the hashtag wanted to see it that bad, they can just hit the translate button.
Right.
And let's be honest, there's probably far less Americans who are willing to hit the translate button.
Plus, another thing is that it means more to the U.S. players than it does to the Japanese players.
Yeah, we need it way bad.
Yeah.
Japan would like it.
Right. But now even Japan has experienced Strive rollback, so I think maybe they even know now that it's important.
Oh yeah. The thing is that the part where it says developing it internally, that's not a problem inherently. Because if you look at the roundtable when ARC was talking about Strive, their rollback was internal. Even though they talked to like 17 other people and got tips and tricks and everything, all that means is that it's not GGPO. We made our own rollback.
Right.
Even if we worked with like the GGPO staff or we worked with these guys.
Or Code Mystics or whatever.
Yeah, so if SNK just gets Code Mystics help to make the rollback, it's still developed internally.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, obviously, last week we were just all kind of bummed because we were just like, probably
the stress was real.
Yeah, not going to happen. But I'm kind of glad though that the push for SNK rollback and all this talk kind of got them to mention. I mean, I do think it's odd that they decided not to have official announcement here. I mean, like. Wasn't it us last week we were joking that to announce rollback they should just have the characters rolling backwards all day? Yeah. Like they could have just tacked that at the end of this Andy trailer and just had them rolling backwards and just say netcode, or something like that would have been hilarious.
So one other thing, depending on how many SNK staff members' Twitter accounts you follow, Josh Weatherford, who is one of the developers at SNK, one of the coders, who is an American who moved to Japan. He made a comment about it.
Oh,
and
interesting.
it was a little snarky.
Okay.
But he's like, all of you thanking the FGC gods for KOF15 and rollback. You're welcome. It's a little snarky, but
yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different than what Zynak does. Zynak is like.
But the fact is that he is one of the developers. He is one of the people helping write the code, which means there's a good chance that he heard so many of the Americans and basically pushed for it before development began because they knew they had to put it in early.
Right.
It's not something, like we said many times, it's not something you can just slap on a game and call it good.
Necromancy Black, you read the question wrong. He says, what games other than Street Fighter V have had bad rollback, not just had rollback? He's talking about bad rollback, which is largely Street Fighter V. So, I mean, Cross Tekken, yeah, I mean, that one was probably brand new. They were still trying to figure it out. I'm not even sure if it did.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it did. But, yeah.
So anyway, Josh basically kind of chimed in, implying that he really helped push to make sure that 15 was starting with rollback in its early development.
Right.
But more than this, even let's just go full doom and gloom, and let's imagine that the rollback is bad or doesn't work. The infrastructure is still there, which means we're still getting like save states in training mode, and that's gonna be awesome.
I mean, even if it comes out bad, I mean, even if it's Street Fighter V level, I mean, people will be mad about it, but it's there and they can improve it. I mean, all they'd have to do is hire Altimore, right?
Yeah, to
come and fix it.
Bad rollback can be fixed. But delay can't really be fixed into rollback.
Right, exactly. That's true.
And that's worst case.
30th anniversary collection. That was rollback netcode, right?
I don't know. I didn't play it.
Like, I know a lot of people said that they didn't.
Well, 3SO was fine because 3SO was literally GGPO.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The base is there. If they make it delay, it's so much harder to retrofit rollback. Exactly, Alias.
Exactly.
So now, obviously, there's a lot of thoughts that maybe Oda isn't being completely honest, and that they haven't been working on it, but now that they are going to work on it because of all the pressure and stuff, to me, I just think that's moot. I don't really give a crap.
I don't care. If the game comes out and has rollback, that's what really matters in the long run. If he says they're working on it and he's lying and it comes out with delay, well, then you have a double whammy because you lied to us as well. But if they oops, we got to delay it a few months for unforeseen circumstances, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
we get rollback, we get rollback.
We literally just about an hour and a half ago got the announcement from Arxis that was like, we're delaying Guilty Gear Strive because the servers were dying on us and they weren't very good, and you guys still don't like the lobby, so we're going to tweak the lobby. And more power to them, dude. Like, let's wait. I'll wait, dude. I'll wait.
Yeah, I mean, and that's likely. That if they consult Code Mystics first, that seems like a pretty likely answer. But also, with these FGC roundtables, there's a good chance that they might, just, extend some sort of extra olive branch to ARC and be like, hey, you want to help us out with the rollback? Especially because we're already working together with the cross-collab on Sam's show.
Right, yeah, exactly. And honestly, I mean, we were talking about this last week, but KOF coming out with rollback netcode, even if we have to delay it a year, even if we have to delay it 6 months to a year, will give them the ability to continue with Season 2 DLC, Season 3 DLC, running tournaments. It will get a lot more play from online tournaments and everything. It's like, it'll be so important in my opinion. And I think, I mean, that's the thing, is if the rollback netcode is great, we don't need Parsec anymore, right?
Well, and also you need a PC release for Parsec.
Yeah, fair.
Which has not been confirmed.
Fair.
So.
Oh, man. Yeah, lobbies is another thing, right? Yeah, but I mean, the thing about doing lobbies for those older games is now you have to code in a whole new menu, UI, all the stuff, right? So the nice thing about rollback, the thing about rollback with emulators is because the emulators have save state built into them, that they naturally have an advantage for the rollback netcode, right? So it's easy for them to do that, even to what Guilty Gear XX Plus R is doing right now with the taking over of the training mode, which is
shit's so cool.
God, I mean, we've been waiting for that feature forever, right?
Well, it's one of those things, we both like labbing, sit in training mode for hours, and the more robust training mode gets, the happier we get.
Yeah.
It's just, and you start putting in features that have never existed, and we're like,
yeah. So I think it's kind of important that way. But CM already mentioned lobbies weren't worked on because they were asked to, and they were worried that spectators' connections could interfere with the players' Yeah, again, it's if they had the opportunity to sit down and do everything that they could, probably would work. But right now, I'd rather them just get the rollback on these old games.
I mean, look at Strive. Everyone would have complained about the lobbies, but they weren't going.
We would have all played the hell out of it.
But you would not have stopped playing it, Give me good rollback and a shit lobby, or give me great lobbies and shit netcode. Which game am I gonna play?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, a nice lobby would be nice, but that didn't stop me from playing O2 UM online. It's one of the first games I've played online in a year.
Yeah,
because I was happy to.
Yeah, but obviously, the biggest problem is that Sam show was kind of disappointment for a lot of things, and so that caused a lot of unsettling, worry and stuff. And I mean, this is kind of like what Tuba was saying. It's just like SNK has built up so much bad will basically from Samurai Showdown, with the bad lobbies, with the ghost system that never went anywhere, with the delay based netcode and everything. unfortunately for SNK, they really do kind of have to shatter all expectations to try to get back in a lot of good graces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is that I think if 15, like, you know, hits it off like gangbusters, has really good rollback and everything, then you can kind of at least do the devil's advocate of maybe they abandoned the netcode issue on Sam's show in favor of putting that much more into 15.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. There's ways that it's not that big a deal.
Right. And yeah, Necromancy Black has it right. The lobbies and Strive have nothing to do with the rollback, right?
Yeah.
So that's just like, wow. But Earthquake needs to be in KOF 15. Would you be happy with Xanadu at least? Big Tummy Dummy if Xanadu came? Chang, yeah. That's right, because Chang and Choi weren't in 14, were they? Or
They were. They weren't with Kim, but they were.
Ah, that's right.
They were with Xanadu.
That's right.
Same team.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, you know, I'm expecting this game probably to have maybe 10 teams at release, maybe.
I would expect more.
Yeah, 10 or 12 or something like that.
I'm guessing we're probably gonna have close to 15 teams.
15 teams, because that would be 45 characters right from the bat. And if the game comes out with 45 characters, I mean, that's super impressive already.
Yeah, that's a really solid thing. But like,
thank you for Visual Fight.
Yeah, like I think that's given SNK and their track record with these games. I mean even 14's launch roster was really pretty robust. I would not be surprised if this starts with 15 teams. And the thing is, like, we still have at least 2 or 3 more teams in the game that are already on lock from the reveal.
Right, yeah.
Plus 2 teams that are implied to be locked because of story reasons.
Yeah, and Poogly Woogly in the chat says that 14 came out with 50 characters. So there you go. Yeah, so you're probably right.
And then 8 DLC.
Yeah, eventually. So yeah, I mean, they probably would. I mean, if they came out with 50 characters, rollback netcode, like there's and decent lobbies. I mean, I just don't think that there's really much for people to complain about, honestly. So I mean, again, you know, Oda talking about rollback, and you know, perhaps it was one of those things where they're still researching it and they're just not allowed to say anything because they haven't quite, you know, said, oh, we got it to work, it's official now. You know, and but the pressure is probably like, well, let's talk about this now because the negativity is hurting us.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, basically, I really wish they had said it at the round table.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really wish that would have been said there. It's like, oh, you guys are talking about rollback. You know, it's something we're working on. We don't have a clear answer just yet, but it's something we're really trying to strive for.
Right.
But had they done it any later?
I see what you did there.
Good. Even so, though, like, when they did it otherwise is pretty much the perfect time, because had you dragged that out much longer, even people like me would have gotten more and more depressed.
Hey, what's up, Grandma Boo? Thank you for the Sigma Nuts Cat Nuts to Grandma Boo. But, I mean, the thing is, I think if it wasn't for if it was not for the round table, I don't think this would have happened, because the round table also depressed everybody who was looking forward to KOF, and having them literally say nothing about it and having all of us be like, this is a bad sign. This is unsettling. I mean, I literally said that on Twitter. I was like, this is unsettling. I think they're probably like, shit, we need to say something, otherwise this is gonna be a problem.
Well, it's one of those things, off Poogly Woogly there with the, didn't think SNK understood just how much and how low our opinion in the Western communities goes.
Right.
Bear in mind that, like, when we're talking about Western KOF communities, most of the time we're actually not talking about English-speaking ones.
Right.
Like, Latin America, oh, they, like, South America likes KOF more than most of North America, with the exception of Mexico being, like, the only example there.
Right. I mean, that's why it's so important to have this rollback netcode, because you put in rollback netcode in this game, you will get this South American scene to just go absolutely ham on the game, and I would love to see the South American scene kill everybody on the planet, you know?
Well, and so one of the things that really kicks into this conversation, kind of piggybacking off the last point, is also, it's worth noting that thanks to KBR, found out that most of like South America doesn't use Twitter.
Oh,
all of their events, all of their coordination, all of their KOF communities are like still on Facebook.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You think SNK is paying attention to Latin American Facebook?
Yeah, no, not at all.
So we're basically the loudest community that can actually reach them is the English Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, even the global legacy that KOF has is a very interesting...
Yeah, see, even their tournament streams are on Facebook.
Yeah, like, so the whole thing about the world, the global legacy, unfortunately, this is true, but the reason why KOF became so popular in China and in Mexico and Latin American countries because it was really easy to pirate Neo Geo.
Not even just pirate. It was also less expensive not to because you didn't have to replace the hardware.
Right, exactly. So it was cheaper and it was just easy to pirate. And so those games were everywhere. Yeah, the cabs were cheaper, and so they were more prolific in those countries. And that's how they built up a lot of those followings out there. So there you go.
Yeah, like the fact is, like, and the thing is, like, the price hadn't even changed that much over time. I could literally afford a Neo Geo cab right now. I just don't know anywhere to put it. Like, they are not expensive.
Right.
Yeah, and on top of that being the 4 slot. Yeah, the 4 slot's huge because then, like, you don't even have to have all fighters.
Right. Yeah.
You know how many times, like, literally, how many times have you seen a 4 slot Neo Geo that didn't have Puzzle Bobble?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, Puzzle Bobble was a guaranteed there, but then it also became a Puzzle Bobble cabinet because you couldn't get people off playing.
Sometimes.
Because I know at the UCLA arcade, we didn't even have the 4-slot ones. We just had Puzzle Bobble machines because that's what everybody would play, basically. I see Nothing XS has finished streaming.
And is now raiding us.
Yes, thank you, Nothing XS, for the raid.
Yeah, pretty much. KOF, Puzzle Bobble, a Metal Slug, and then a Wild Card.
Yeah, basically.
Like 9 times out of 10.
Oh, you feel real sick.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, I hope you feel better.
I want you to feel better.
Yeah. But, yeah, look, the cheese, we've been talking about this for every week. I think the presentation's fine. It's just the reason why is because it is the internet and it's basically meme inertia. I think right now is a lot of it.
I like that phrase.
Yeah.
Meme inertia.
Yeah, it really is meme inertia, honestly, and because I think the game looks fine. Like, I mean,
okay, real talk. I want this stage in like 5 other games right now. I wish I had just this stage.
Right, and then a lot of it is also, I think, is just they're not accepting the fact that they're going with a different kind of style and look. You know what I mean? I've already been talking about how I love the textures on everybody's clothes and stuff like that. Like, Kyo's jeans look ridiculous, and Yori's jacket is really nicely done. So
that's one of Andy's old themes, is what the music is.
Okay.
Yeah. And anytime music is in these trailers, it's either the team's official team or it's that character's theme from a previous game.
Right.
Every single one.
And that's the thing too. That's another thing. It's the kind of that meme inertia stuff is that at some point in time, it just became an established fact, not even opinion, that KOF 13 was just friggin' beautiful. Right.
It is a fact.
Right.
That game's gorgeous. Even if you don't necessarily like the art style.
Right.
Because I fucking hate Athena in that game.
Oh yeah.
I can't stand how Athena looks. But the pixels are fucking gorgeous.
Right. So the thing about it is that KOF 13 looks so good that KOF 14 was jarring. And so there's a little bit of that inertia from that. And I mean, KOF 14 was so jarring graphically compared to 13 that people now won't accept anything from KOF. Like, they'll call anything from KOF as ugly unless it looks like freaking...
13 or Arc System Works.
Yeah, or The
thing is, though, is that it is worth noting that for how much people really wanted to complain about 14 and how good 13 looked, 14 was not even just that 13 sold badly at the time. 14 comparatively was a massive commercial success. Because the difference of investment and the fact that more people gave it a shot, I think it being on the PS4 as the first KOF of the system was a really huge thing.
People were hopeful about netcode and stuff.
14 did well enough to help them fund Sam Show. That's it wouldn't have even happened. So 13 was really pretty, but it doesn't matter if nobody played it, and for how much the investment was on the game.
Right.
They paid too much to make it.
Yeah, and again, if the game looks like this and has 50 characters on launch, I mean, like, can you really be mad? Like, can you really be like
meme inertia? That's just that's all it is. Is that people? I mean, especially again in America, people just want to shit on SNK. It happens too frequently.
And like everybody keeps talking about it. It just sucks that the pixel art just didn't work out for 13, right? Because I mean, like, my favorite thing about 13 is honestly, so like the way that I think of their graphics, I love the art direction and a lot of things. Like, I love the fact that Terry is just like I said,
Terry looks fantastic.
Richmond Lee has that really great article on how all the body types look really different in that game. Like, Terry and Andy look like they had different teachers, teaching them different fighting styles and stuff like that. Their body builds are completely different. The weakness was that because they were based off of the 3D models, you don't get as much of the stretching, and stuff, and the crazy, like, exaggerated movements.
Yeah, but there's something to that too, is where it makes them look sturdier. Sometimes. And
then on top of that, what they managed to do with the direction, I don't mean art direction, I just mean like move direction,
like choreography almost.
Yeah, like the fact that, like, whenever Ralph tossed you up and bounced you, every time you hit, the screen would shake and zoom in, and then the next one, screen shake and zoom in.
Yeah, the camera work was
right,
phenomenal. Like, especially for a 2D game.
Right, exactly.
The fact that this is something Street Fighter V added this week.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I agree that, like, 13's move chopping did hurt a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I'm one of those, like, huge, like, KOF 11 stands where people started getting new moves and new ways to implement them, and then went to 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I fucking love 11, and going back to it and seeing, like, the new characters with 48 moves, and, like, Shen got 3 new moves that he's never getting back.
Yeah, honestly, Necromancy, I mean, he says that, they went ASW, Arcus and Works with the 3D models, and kept the stretching and motion blurring and all that stuff in there. I mean, what they're doing is just beyond anything anybody else is doing, and, like, holding anything up to their standards, which I don't think you're doing, but I'm just saying holding anything up to their standards is so unfair.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's also because of that, though, we also have talked about the fact that Arc is not really going to be able to do DLC alternate costumes.
Right.
Because you have to re-rig every animation and every stretch.
Exactly. And that's one of the harder parts about that style. But again, at the same time, it's also why they're the only ones that I would ever want to do a Darkstalkers. Like, you cannot ever let anybody touch that thing except for, man. But I think the game looks fine. Yeah. And if we get rollback netcode, if the game comes out with even 15 teams, 45 characters, like, I just can't, like, if people are like, well, I won't play it because it looks ugly. Like, you're just being a contrarian at that point. That's literally what it is. Like, if you're just like, I'm not going to play this game because it looks ugly, when it doesn't look ugly, and it has rollback netcode, and there's freaking, like, 45 characters at launch potentially. Like I said, you're just being a contrarian at that point.
No, and I mean, so let's think. So of the characters we know for a fact have been revealed thus far.
I mean, you're going to tell me that this looks ugly, dude? Yeah. Mine looks amazing here. That expression on her face, dude. Okay. I don't ever want someone to look at me like that.
I mean, I might.
Yeah, I guess it's true. It's true.
Okay, so who else has been revealed but hasn't had a trailer yet? Is it just K-Dash and Leona?
Leona, I think.
Yeah, K-Dash and Leona. Is there anyone else? Or are we, like, about caught up? Because I if they weren't going to do Fatal Fury Boys, then I was figuring we're getting K-Dash. So I figured K-Dash is next. Right.
Oh,
yeah, obviously Mai, who's on the screen right now.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, I guess I should rephrase that. Characters that haven't had a trailer, and it's those three. But yeah, characters who were in the original reveal and haven't been shown since.
Right.
Is just Leona and K-Dash.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I just think that a lot of the complaints about the graphics right now are fairly unfounded.
Dude, if they actually put Mai on this team, that would be bonkers.
No Terry?
And not Terry. Dude, that would be so weird.
But then what team would Terry... He would be with, like, Rock and...
Mary?
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm on board for Terry, Rock, Mary.
You know, if they plan to change up this team, this would be the perfect way to throw it for the loop, right? Joe, Andy, and of course, Mai. And you'd be like, oh my.
I mean, I'm still kind of sad that we're not getting Andy, Mai, Hokutomaru.
Oh, God, but you hate Hokutomaru.
Yeah, see? Right there. I really wanted that one.
Which one?
Andy, Mai, Hokutomaru.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Because I mean, still what I want is, like, literally Joe's apprentice from Mark of the Wolves 2 that doesn't exist, and then Hokutomaru and Rock, and have the second generation wolves.
Yeah. But, I mean, putting them on the team with them, but obviously that's not going to happen.
Putting them with their masters would be cool, but having the 3 apprentices on the same team, and then having the OG Fatal Fury team be another team, and they could fight each other.
That would actually be pretty sick.
So cool.
And, you know, assuming that assuming that Andy and Joe are on the same team, obviously you can't have Joe's apprentice anymore, so... who's Jeff?
Terry and Andy's adopted father. The one that Geese killed.
Oh, Jeff Bogard, right.
Who, again, might be alive.
Because of the crazy time rebirthing and everything. Jeff Bogard.
How about...
I mean, that's one of the nice things about KOF, right? Is that every time a new game comes out, it really is just like, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
No, and I mean, like, again, I've talked about this a little bit before, is I love that they're hearkening back to what they did with the 2000 era, where, like, even SVC Chaos, KOF 2003 had this trickle of information consistently.
Right.
I mean, Smash games. You've seen how much the fandom will eat up those little, like, weekly or daily updates of, like, here's a song, and everyone's like, yeah!
So, Joe to Brandon, Geese has never been dead in the KOF canon, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so KOF canon, Fatal Fury canon are actually different canons, and Geese has always been alive, right?
Yeah, Geese is still alive in the KOF canon. Geese is full-blown dead in the Fatal Fury canon.
Right, so it's kind of weird that, I mean, because you had talked about this, the reason why they have to be kind of different canons is because Art of Fighting took place in the 70s, and so if Ryo is here, he's gonna be like Saisyu age, basically, right?
Yeah.
So...
But the thing is that, like, so one of the things that I like that they've kind of, I think, gave wiggle room to that on is when you get to Mark of the Wolves. Because Marco, or Kushnud, depending on what country you live in.
Oh, right. Kushnud butt.
Yeah. Is still, like, Ryo's apprentice. But it makes you think, like, God, is, like, Ryo, like, 70?
Right. Oh, man. So, yeah, so obviously KOF has its own timeline, basically, its own universe.
Yeah, so it lets everyone be, like, completely, like, matched together. I really had to avoid a pun on that one. But it lets them all be, like, really tied together in their timelines, and then you can have kind of the anything goes.
Because it allows for the dream match? Is that where you're going?
No, it lets all their timelines be synchronized.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I mean, this also is what allows them to make it so that Andy Bogard has... turned back into a 17-year-old.
Okay, so actually, on that note, Street Fighter 2 birthdays make them super old because they actually have birth years.
Yeah.
Fatal Fury still has the same problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay,
if you follow, like, Fatal Fury 3, like, yeah, Mary's, like, turning 50 this year or something like that. Okay.
She's gonna not only Gray Mary.
No, it's like 90, it's blue hair Mary.
Yeah, I know.
Also, not just Ryo, Bariki 1 is great.
Right.
I really want Gai Tendo to come back. Like, I've been playing him again in 11 and just looking at how much of his move list I'd even used before. Like, going into the dodge and lay flat and then to uppercut off the ground, and oh my god, he's so cool.
Oh, man. I guess we really don't have much else to say about the rollback stuff except
oh god, thank Christ.
Yeah, like, please let this happen. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so all jokes aside, we're talking about Cougar Mary. I actually really like Marco the Wolf's timeline Mary. Where she gets like a little bit older, a little bit of updated design. I think she looks fantastic.
Look, I'm just saying this right now. 50-year-old Cougar Mary is actually within my age range. Okay? So me...
You're like, hell yeah.
Me trying to mac on 50-year-old Cougar Mary would actually work just fine. So let's do it.
Okay, so the Garo then sets 15th anniversary box set. I think it's 15th anniversary. It's a collection of all the... Yep, there you go. Collection of all the soundtracks came with a bonus DVD, Memories of Stray Wolves. And it's basically just like a visual novel. And it actually is just basically Terry getting drunk at a bar as other characters are popping up and have little conversations, reminisce about the plot lines from the different games.
That's actually not going to work. How would I...
That one, purple jacket right there.
Where?
To the right,
This?
the purple jacket, top center.
This one.
Yep. So, and basically characters are pop in. So you see like Duck King in the Mark of the Wolves timeline. And there's a couple of shots of Mary.
That doesn't even look like an old Mary.
And then, so Mary on the motorcycle as well. The one to the left of that.
Oh, to the left of that?
Well, not, I meant on the original screen.
This
but yeah,
this
that's
right
the one.
here. I mean, it still looks like 17-year-old Mary, though.
It's the art style issue. But also, like, that hair is actually longer than usual and stuff like that.
Yeah, but she's still... I mean, look, if this is how she looks when she's 50 years old, I am 100% down with this,
so
okay?
approximately 37 in time of actual Mark of the Wolves.
Fine.
I'm saying, like, real time right now, yeah, she's going to be, like, 50-something.
I mean, like I said, even then, the saddest part is that 37-year-old Mary would probably be a little bit like
that's,
robbing the cradle a little bit here. So.
But it's perfect.
Oh, man.
But anyway, so yeah, no, Mark of the Wolves era, some of the characters does exist because of that. So if you ever get a chance, like, hop on YouTube, someone actually uploaded it. Memories of Stray Wolves, I believe is what it's called. Well, also, Duck looks crazy. Like, he just let himself go. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, Grinning Oni. I mean, I've talked about this a lot. You can always take the face of a girl character and swap it onto another, and it probably won't look that different. And then you can also just take their head and plop it onto another girl, and it's not going to look that different.
No, it's not that he's fat. He looks, like, much lazier. Looks like he's had a bit more drugs than usual. Like...
They didn't do him straight up Birdie style.
No, not Birdie style, but he definitely looks, blah.
Oh, we haven't talked about that yet, Investigation Code, because that's Capcom thing anyway.
Yeah,
so.
or independent, even.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down to chat about it, like, later.
Right.
Because we still have a few topics we want to get through.
Yeah, for sure.
I figure I'll get this one out of the way, just because it's quick and easy.
And plus that way I can also start doing
it'll give you time to fiddle with stuff. So, I don't know if anybody here was tuned in, but over the weekend, I finally got my delivery from Zen Market. So Zen Market is the proxy service that actually has the official ties to the SNK online shop. And so I abused the hell out of it. I spent way too much money buying stuff from the SNK shop, buying stuff from Yahoo Japan auctions, and
Sorry, someone says Andy looks awesome here. No wonder Maya is so thirsty. So now all I'm doing is picturing KOF 14 Andy, Maya going up to him and being like, "You're the best looking guy in the room." You know, Squall style.
Okay, so I got a lot. We have it on Kitty's actual Twitch, Kitty Kaboom Twitch, and her archives. I downloaded it, probably upload it to YouTube later. But I wanted to show a couple of little tiny trinkets that are just really cool stuff, and it's stuff that you can dig for if you check out Zen Market, because I spent a lot because I got a lot of cool stuff. Like the Mary Shrine is definitely further enhanced. Yeah, it was crazy. So, but I want to show a couple little gems. So there's 2 items on here, as well as this here thing being an item in and of itself, so I'll let James bring that over. These are miniature acrylic stands. The Angel actually came from the 2002 Lucky Kuji.
Focus.
And I actually got that.
Camera.
I got that through different means. A good friend of mine actually managed to snag it for me. But the Little Riot Leona I actually picked up off of the Yahoo auctions. As well as if you give it a tilt, you can see the green thing. That's actually a little bar that's designed explicitly for acrylic stands and keychains.
Right. So if you're not sure, these things back here are actually the base of the acrylics. Because can I pull one of them out?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So like if you pull out Leona, obviously it's got the little tab on the bottom, which is really there you go. The tab on the bottom that's supposed to go into the stand here, but that's what these little stands are for, is that you can just slide them in there like that. And then for the larger acrylics, you've got the bigger, wider tabs on the bottom over here. So
yeah. So last year when we were actually in Japan,
Leona needing a Snickers.
Yes.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Just
Give her the Snickers. Dude, that'd be a great tie-in for KOF, dude. Oh,
Better?
Man.
Better.
Better.
She just goes straight deadpan.
Yeah, I wish I could get it to focus a little bit better, but I think because they're kind of see-through, it's...
Actually, put your hand behind it, because it's probably trying to still focus on the back.
Right. There you go. Look at that. It's really pretty, right?
So the little green thing, last year when we were in Japan, we got to go to the My Hero Academia cafe, and they were selling, like, thousands of fucking acrylics and blind boxes and all sorts of shit. But there I saw the little green thing, the little acrylic rubber stand, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grab one of those. I'm curious.
And it was a good idea.
And it turned out to be one of the greatest things I've ever found. So I had to buy a few more of those. And then, yeah, I've got the 1P2P Leona there. I was really happy. I got a bunch of other, like, really cool little acrylic stuff. Yep, I've got, I've got the 97 Special Team from the O2 UM Team keychains. And I've got that standing on one of these. I've got the, like, Kimi Hero Mary keychain hanging on one of these.
Let me see this.
But then here's another really cool little thing that I snagged. You're gonna have to put your hand behind it and just keep him steady.
Come on, camera.
And then the other item, which honestly is the highlight of it. Like, I like the little pendant, but the Leona dog tag I thought was just really cool. It's some really old merch.
Come on. Oh, I almost got it. Here.
Okay, so which item are you asking about, the blinds or not? So in terms of these little tiny acrylics, they were pre-opened, and someone was just getting rid of them, like same as eBay for us. Normally they come blind.
There you go. Name.
Oh yeah, Kitty's definitely going to be kidnapping this from me at some point. Right. The thing is, I actually have always had a soft spot for collecting fictional dog tags. So when this came up, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've got, like, dog tags from franchises I don't care about, just I think they're neat.
Yeah, and I've always complained about how there's not enough figures for male characters in fighting games and stuff. I've always wanted a Johnny figure from Guilty Gear, and that doesn't exist anywhere except for a Gashapon Johnny here that Mike got for me. So he got this as a gift, and it comes with a soul as well. I haven't put them together yet because I was going to put them together like literally on stream.
Dude, fucking right. When are we getting Adelheid as a figure?
Adelheid.
I do not have Charlie's dog tags. That's one I wouldn't mind having.
Where's my scissors? I should have a pair of scissors.
You got a knife.
Yeah, I've got a knife over there.
But yeah, they I definitely went freaking ham.
Jasmine ran into the kitchen when I walked into the kitchen.
I mean, I saw a little blur. He's actually going to build it while we keep chatting here for a bit.
Jasmine actually used Andy's level 3 to get into the kitchen just now.
Flying elbows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got like some Dorohedoro figures.
Dude,
got
wouldn't Johnny
gear,
Coins be awesome, dude? Like, come on, dude. Like, there's so many cool things you could do, and they just all don't exist, and it's
all
makes me sad.
because waifu bait is guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And that's the Guilty Gear dudes pretty much only have blind figures. Like, I mean. Now,
same thing with Darkstalkers,
in
too.
The Gashapons.
Yeah, and Darkstalkers, same thing. You can only get Gashapons for these things.
So one of the other Guilty Gear sets I got the Venom with 2 versions, one with his hair over his face,
right?
One without.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, that one's nice too. Can't decide which foot is which side here.
You can figure it out.
Yeah. Pretty sure this is this foot over here.
But yeah, so it's just something like if you're willing to invest in, like the SNK shop doesn't charge you the extra bonuses for the proxy service, but like if you buy stuff off Yahoo Auctions, it's an extra like $3 per item.
Definitely wrong.
And they kick in a little extra on shipping, but like the grand total like for shipping was actually really surprisingly good, and it arrived in like 3-4 days. So
that's
like
fast,
it was super fast, and so it's just if you can't find stuff in America, or like I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago, I made that post of being an SNK fan in America, and there was a calendar that was like $150 in Florida, and it was $10 on Yahoo Japan. And I was just like, so yeah, it's something you can evaluate. Wait, which T-shirt? Mine? This shirt's rad.
That's an old school. No, it's actually
it's an old school styled.
It's an old school styled, right? Exactly.
Yeah, a Hein figure would be cool, but yeah, just get no. If you just take Sebastian from Black Butler and give him a head swap.
I like this. He's got an arm here, but the way you actually attach the arm is literally to his stomach. It's not an arm slot. It's just a stomach slot.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
Yep.
Ah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Thank you, Kitty.
What's that?
We have one more collectibles thing we can talk about before we get into our next little segment.
Sure.
The Kotobukiya announcement.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Which I remember. I was actually going to bring something up for that too.
Right.
But, so the Kotobukiya Bishojo Girls line, which is done by Shunya Yamashita, we are finally getting an SNK line. And not even technically one line, it's two. Because the Funiverse licensees are just going fucking in, apparently. So anytime you see like any sort of licensed merch from SNK over the past like month or two, and probably moving forward, you see this little FUN logo. It's apparently Funiverse is the name of this company, and they seem to be acting as like a middleman for the license. Like SNK is like, here you go, do things, and they're going in. That's why we got some of the cool, like that new Orochi statue and stuff like that. Just a few days ago, they announced the Shunya Bishojo Girls line. We have no idea what characters we're getting or anything, but we do know that license includes KOF98 and SNK heroines.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that, Wheeler. The Street Fighter ones, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of the Street Fighter ones, personally. But, I mean...
Some of the faces can be kind of samey.
Yeah, exactly. That's my biggest complaint about it, honestly.
I mean, part of that's also, like, Shunya's style. Like, he does this really, like, cute girls, and it work a lot better, typically, when he takes more time on them. And just, gets the makeup how he wants, this, that, and the other. These seem to be a little more streamlined. But yeah, all things considered, it's still, you don't go to Shunya Yamashita for a variety of faces or body types, agree. Right. Now that being said, though, I think Shermie has a really good shot, because if you look at the Mika, the Street Fighter Mika in the same line, that's pretty much what Shermie's physique's probably going to wind up being. Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time getting these to plug into Johnny's butt right now.
Are you touching his butt? You're touching your husbando's butt?
I'm definitely touching husbando's butt.
Obviously, there's some characters I'm really hoping for. Also, because since it's heroines in 98, there are some characters that are completely off limits, at least for the moment. So don't bother asking Kodo to make Angel.
hot butt.
Yeah, so we're not going to get Angel, but we're probably going to get like Mai. We're going to get Kula, Athena, some of like the dead ringers kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then,
I mean, his style will work well for Kula and Kula and Athena and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we'll probably get a Shermie, because also it's a character that's in both licenses. Yeah, no, Najid is another one. Like, that would be a really slick one to get a statue. But Kula's in heroines. So, yeah, I want Mary. I would like Chizuru. I think that would be really cool. Leona.
Yeah. See, like Leona, I can't imagine with the cutesy, face.
But she doesn't
like
need
that.
to. And I mean, again, it's not like he doesn't draw like a little more serious things. Anyway, it's like it's no biggie. So, and again, like this honestly might be good because we might actually get a little bit more variety. Like again, like having Leona just like. That would be different.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, but I mean, so I actually was a fan of Shunya Mashita since like 05, like way before even the Kodo partnership.
Right.
And like I was gonna bring up, I've got one of the old busts of just his artwork that he just put out there.
Oh, okay. Not like of a specific character.
No, just his own independent art.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Vanessa is the worst character in 14. Are we talking tier-wise or design-wise? Ooh. Yeah, no, so I think Leona and Shermie also have a really good shot just because you can give them an alternate paint job and then make them a Comic-Con exclusive.
Got some soul hair here.
Personally, I really hope they do Shermie, because if they do Orochi Shermie as a Comic-Con exclusive, she might have lightning effects, which would be fucking sick. Oh, so I really don't like the lifelike dolls, partly because I don't think they're as impressive to begin with. I think they're a little creepy.
Lifelike dolls?
They're the like 12-inch like $300 Barbie doll looking ones. Ooh. They look like life model dolls. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, okay. I don't think
but
I
the
like
thing
that
is,
either.
The thing is that brand has gone through 3 or 4 different companies in the past like 5 or 10 years. Which always says to me that there's something I don't like going on behind the scenes.
Oh, gotcha, right.
Because they used to be Phison, then they were TB League, and now they're like whatever they're called now, and it's exactly the same products, just with different licensing. And that makes me uncomfortable. Like, plain and simple. The Vice looks pretty cool, don't get me wrong. The 14 Iori is pretty rad. I'm not convinced I trust that company sticking around long enough as the same company before they rebrand again. That or, I mean, here's the thing. I could be wrong because it's not easy to track all the information. They could just be selling all their product and then like shutting down and the next company picks it up.
Right.
Then it's just like, it's one of those cursed lots you see at the strip mall where no matter what business goes in, it always fails.
Just dies,
and then it rotates.
yeah. I mean, it's not the saddest toy store in the world that Cone showed me one time, but yeah, I know what you mean by that. So, God, the saddest toy store in the world was the saddest toy store in the world. Oh, God. Oh, man.
But yeah, and yeah, like they're a little unsettling because they look like real dolls. And I don't think some characters do I want to see a real doll of, much less at then, 1/6 scale. Or 1/3, 1/4, whatever size they are.
The interesting thing about the Soul figure is...
Oh, and then on top of that, now we see Scorch talking about that it doesn't really fit properly. That's good.
Which one?
The K-Dash figure, the hair doesn't fit properly with the head. Yeah, exactly like tiny real dolls. They're creepy.
That's see. I don't know if I'd want something like that. I mean, dolls are one of those things that are like, like
Uncanny Valley
clowns. Like yeah. No matter like there's not,
and the clapping cymbal monkeys.
Yeah. Like somehow. I mean, that's why in Toy Story 3 that those.
I don't know.
Oh, you haven't.
I never
seen
saw
it?
3.
Oh, I'm sorry, not 3, 4.
Oh, I definitely didn't see 4.
Yeah, 4. No,
I've seen 1 and 2.
They have those like weird, scary, like those ventriloquist like doll puppety things, and
like you'd see in Goosebumps.
Yeah, and the way that they made them animate, they like don't move their arms, and then like
perfect.
they're like super creepy in that thing, dude. Like it's terrifying, dude.
So yeah, I'm just speaking honestly, I'm not a fan. And then one last product that came out, and if I have friends in Japan, that would be super cool. Lawson, the Konbini, the convenience store, has printout kiosks where they print out these little bromide sheets of characters from O2 UM. And they're all done basically in the same blocks like the Kuji was a couple of years ago, of just like, it's a blind lottery. Oh God, is that? Did you just get sent a Dolphy link?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it looks like?
No, these are Dolphys. Those are different.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so yeah, you walk into a Lawson if you live in Japan, and you hit up this little printing kiosk, and you pick like Group A, Group B, or Group C, and you will blindly get a character from that group and part of their move list printed out on like a little sheet like you would mount on an arcade cabinet. And the printout sizes...
I don't like these at all.
Yeah. No, Dolphys are definitely an acquired taste at best.
I don't like that at all, actually. Okay.
But the printouts, they come in 2 sizes. They're about the same size as like the marquee cards for a 4-slot Neo Geo, and I think they're really cool. Yeah. Chat just going in. Her face is odd, yes.
Abort.
Man, what kind of old nerd am I that I'm like, oh, it's a Dolphy. Yeah, that sounds right.
But cool, now I've got these.
Mecha Musume Mai? Oh man, I am intrigued. This is gonna be terrible, probably. Actually, that's not that bad.
Huh.
It's like a My Gundam kit.
Oh, I see. But why do they have no face?
Because she's just a robot? And honestly, with some of these kits and some of the like custom figure stuff, you can just get decals for eyes and just slap them on, so whatever you feel like.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And, I mean, honestly, $55, it's not that bad. Who makes it? Because I don't think it's like an official Gundam, the gunplay, is it?
I don't see anything about it here, but I just the fact that it's missing a face freaks me out too much. So even though obviously you're supposed to put them on afterwards, it's very Silent Hilly to me.
Yeah. If it's just a prototype and that's like early, that's cool. But it's also like most of the time, unfinished prototypes tend to not be colored. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, because like I'll keep an eye on stuff from like Wonder Festival and stuff because I'm insane. Yeah, so they give you the sticker options. That's the most likely answer. Is like here's like 3 or 4 different pairs of eyes.
I'm trying to think. You're talking about Snake Eyes?
Snake Eyes, Stalker, and Duke. Like most of my Dude, most of my G.I. Joe knowledge comes from watching commercials in the 80s and 90s.
Of course.
That's why I always have to, like, anytime I hear one of those names, it's always Snake Eyes, Stalker, and Duke. In that order. Because that commercial imprinted on me.
Right. I just laugh about Tomax and Zaymont. Oh, God. Those twins that... because their names are spelled backwards and oh god, what goofy ass characters, dude. Anyways, So
I think that's all I've got to just ramble on about merch for the moment. Mm-hmm. So I think it's time for...
Yeah, one of the things that we wanted to do... Oh, well, we talked about this. Someone in the chat asked... how did you send it to me?
Twitter DM.
Twitter DM.
And you confirmed it.
Yes, I just can't remember where you actually sent it. That's all.
So I believe it was Nothing XS was a large part of that conversation, actually.
Well, someone yesterday, last week asked if I want to get into KOF, what's the best place I can go to for tutorials and stuff? And everybody was like, DandyJ tutorial. And then we were saying, oh, okay, cool. Hey, let's watch that on stream. But that was after like 2 hours already.
Yeah, we were going to grind that out.
Yeah, so...
I mean, luckily it's only like 20 minutes long, but like making that part of this week is that much better.
Oh, that...
Degenerator Industry and Artisan. Yeah, I don't know those makers.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But yeah, so we figured we would watch the tutorial here live to this week
with our specially updated 2021 edition.
Yeah, this is
so before we get into it, we do need to make one thing clear, is that this video was made to prepare people going into King of Fighters 12.
Oh jeez. Okay.
It's a bit of an old tutorial for those of you who haven't seen it, but all the lessons in it still apply, because 99% of it is done using 98 as your example.
Right.
So it makes it a lot easier to like get through. So basically, anytime he just mentions like, oh, if you're gonna start playing 12, yeah, you probably don't need to worry about reading that part. Maybe read it for 15.
Right.
Anytime he's like, well, I think you might have played Street Fighter 4 by now.
Right.
You can either chuckle at that or just replace it with 5.
Yeah.
But it's a really good tutorial for the basics of how KOF works, especially in comparison to some other games when you want to get into it, teach you some of the rules, especially because one of the biggest things about KOF is jumps.
Yeah.
And how you actually wield jumps and how you deal with the multiple kinds of jumps. We've got both parts of the video are now condensed into one, and they are updated, and let's go into it.
Okay, sure. Let's just watch this here.
Also hosted by our good friend Kia.
Let's
What's really good?
let's fade Kyo out a little bit more here. There you go. Now we have the ghost of Kyo trying to burst into the screen.
The ghost of Kyo's mispassed?
Yeah, Kyo's mispassed. All right.
Apparently it's really loud.
Oh, was it that? Was really loud? Okay, sorry. I'll turn it down a little bit. What's really good?
What's really good?
My name's Kyo. Such as the King of Fighters and Capcom vs. SNK games. Ooh, the text goes fast. Okay. But I'm not here to talk about myself. Alright, I'm here to help you.
I'm here to help you.
You might ask yourself, what do I need to help with? Well, if you speak English
and play fighting games, chances are you don't play much KOF, right?
Goddamn. With the upcoming release of KOF 12, a lot of people will be trying the game. And for many players, is that what 12 looked like?
Yeah, 12 had 13's graphics.
Right,
just a little different HUD.
And zoomed in a little bit too, yeah. It will be the first time they have ever played a KOF game. For others, it will be a return to a series they have only dabbled in. I've seen a lot of otherwise solid players struggle with KOF and give up. They understand the game on a technical level, but they never get a good feel. This is actually really important here, and I'm really glad he's talking about this, because this is something I talk about a lot with fighting games these days, is that, you know, to learn a fighting game isn't even just so much as like, hey, let's learn how to play a fighting game, let's figure out the techniques. You want to understand the rhythm of the game, you want to understand the feel of a game. So I like the fact that he's emphasized this term, because in order to play a fighting game well, you really want to get an understanding of the pace and the idea of what's supposed to happen. So in KOF, like you said, hyper hopping is super important, running and all these things like that. And so to really play KOF, you have to understand the feel of KOF. Like, why am I throwing out lights that hit at 45-degree angles randomly? Because I'm trying to stop hyper hops and stuff like that.
Or, I mean,
right?
even having jump normals that angle up forward and above you.
Right.
In other games, that sounds like terrible. And in this game, they're like, oh, that's really nice to have.
Yeah, but again, you know, hyper hops are not designed to be reactable, you know, jump
like
attacks.
Inherently.
Right, not inherently. But if you're expecting them, or if you anticipate them, you can throw things out ahead of time to stop them.
I mean, you know, if say you're a Street Fighter 5 player, how often do you actually anti-air Nash's overhead?
I mean, I don't anti-air a goddamn
Okay,
thing.
I'm not talking to you. It's more like a rhetorical. Like,
Right,
you can block it, but how often do you stuff it on reaction?
Right,
the answer is
exactly.
you fucking don't.
Right. And so, I mean, well, I'll let the tutorial get into it, because I was about to be like, so the hyper hop, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, so like when I played Marvel and I wanted to pick up a new character, I would spend at least 10 minutes not touching buttons. And I would just be like running around the screen to feel them out first.
Exactly. And actually, let me also do something else too here. Sorry.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. Trying to go from Sam Show 7 to 5 Special, God, that probably was jarring.
Yeah. Let me do something here. What am I trying to do? Go. Let's bring this up and do that. There we go. Let's get rid of the watermark there, so you guys can actually see.
Oh, is that the like scrolling banner thing?
No, my Chensor Dynasty logo sitting in the middle of the screen.
I just realized also we don't have our little synchronized banner, do we, right now?
Oh shoot, that's right.
So I mean, it's no biggie, but
There it is.
Huzzah!
Easy to do. There we go. Basic gameplay style of KOF, but more importantly, I'm going to show you the fundamentals of the game. This is not how to do move or how to do combo, but how to do KOF. Do not be mistaken, I'm not going to teach you the basics of 2D fighting, but the basics of KOF that are unique from most games, such as Street Fighter. Hopefully I can help you form a more complete view of KOF gameplay. Again, this is all super important, you know, like...
It sounds... apparently video's still too loud.
Is it? Oh, dang, okay.
But yeah, it's stuff that you need to kind of like feel out and understand when you jump between games. And it might be one of the reasons why people still think 13 is super hard, because it's so much different from just walking into Street Fighter. Right,
like, so for me, you know, I recognize that KOF 13 was really hard for me because I'm used to Street Fighter style inputs, right? So when I try to play Leona, I can do flash kicks and stuff because of the way it worked. But for people who have come into the game, it's whatever, they've been used to it for years.
No, and not to mention, honestly, a lot of KOF players then go into Street Fighter for the first time. They're like, oh, okay, I just don't have a couple jumps. Got it.
Right.
And then they're good to go.
Yeah. So what it really comes down to is just that if you're a Street Fighter player, you come to KOF, things are going to feel weird. And that was for old games, which doesn't exist in 14 anymore. So I can do the Street Fighter style inputs for Leona. You can actually do
there's a lot more leniency.
Yeah, because like one of the weird things was that if you hit heavy punch and then forward to do like heavy punch into uppercut, that would still register as a throw. You could technically carry cancel the startup of the heavy punch into the throw by hitting forward, which was really awkward for me and messed me up a lot. But all the KOF players are like, what do you mean? We've been doing that for since 94.
One of my habits has always been, like, if I want to make sure that I'm not going to throw someone, I double tap forward so I start running first.
Right, yeah, that's another one. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have those kind of techniques like that. So if you are completely new to 2D fighting games, I recommend Street Fighter 4. It's a great game, lots of people are playing it, and you will learn a lot. What's ironic about this here is I can't, even if we ported this to modern age, I don't even think I could say that about Street Fighter 5. I don't even think I could. From here on out, I'm going to assume you have played Street Fighter 4 and go from there.
That's a bold assumption, sir.
Yeah. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's begin. Jumping. So this is the most important part of KOF, so it's good that it starts with this.
That's kind of like, I don't know if I want to say the most.
Oh, one of the...
But it's a big one.
Yeah, 4 different kinds of jumps. Normal jump, super jump, short hop, and hyper hop. Yeah. Let's start with the first 2. Normal jump is done by pushing any of the jump directions, no different from Street Fighter. Just the same as other games, you can use this to cross up, jump fireballs. A super jump is by hitting down and then quickly pushing that. So it's basically...
Up, back, or up, forward.
Right.
You cannot super jump vertically neutral.
Okay. And it's just basically like Marvel games, kind of like super jumps, basically. You can also perform a super jump by running and then jumping. Yep.
Yeah, so running jump is an auto super jump.
You might already know this from this kind of jump from Sea Viper in Street Fighter 4 or other games. As you can see, it travels further and faster than a normal jump.
Dude, I love this song so much.
If it's useful, but be careful as it leaves you more vulnerable than a normal jump. Well, okay.
Because it's easier to react to a neutral.
Right, because it's a longer jump, you have more time to anti-air. Sorry, I rewound the video a little bit just so you can see that without the chop. There you go. Next, I'll show you the 2 unique and important jumps and get the short and hyper hops. Some also call them short jump, small hop jump, or super short jump. I mean, nowadays I think it's pretty much just short hop and hyper hop, right?
Yeah. There's nicknames, but yeah. Also, 99 2000 soundtracks are both got like,
right.
Stupid and big dumb jump in here. So this was fortunately one of the edits. Because if you ever find the original video, it's a little less pleasant text.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I can even see.
So nothing excess. We talked about that. Yeah, this is the 2021 edit.
Yeah.
So
actually, you can even see the text is a little bit higher quality.
So yeah, just I'm saying fair warning. If you look up the original version of this video, some of the jokes are a little less stream safe for starters.
Designed for back in way back then when things
when Xbox Live was more racist.
Yes.
And yeah, that era.
A short hop is performed quickly by tapping
Hard disagree. I still love 99
and
Ranged
releasing it
original.
quickly. I don't know if he talks about this. Let's see. This may be difficult to do consistently at first, but it will become natural. It can be helped to perform a short. Yep, there you go. As hitting down like a reverse super jump. Yes, this is the way that I learned to
short yourself.
Yeah, to purposely do that, to manually hit down afterwards.
Also, if you happen to play on Hitbox, this shit's free.
Oh yeah. Just play on
tap it,
Hitbox
you're
or
done.
whatever. You can tap quickly and then move to any downward direction. So this feels more natural, more intentional. Because I mean, like,
There wasn't. There is now. I'll probably have to talk to DandyJ after this video to let him fully list it. Because it's currently unlisted. It was built. This was updated just for this stream.
yeah, literally, we started.
So again, thank you again, DandyJ.
Yeah, and thanks to Nothing XS, he contacted DandyJ.
got this whole ball
DandyJ
rolling.
contacted us, and then DandyJ's like, let me tweak this.
I was looking at these and like, we have some things that I'm probably gonna have to censor. So I was planning on like putting Kyo over some of the text. And he's like, I got you.
yeah, exactly. So this is actually a completely brand new edit. Now, obviously, I think DandyJ probably wanted to update it to reference Street Fighter V and things like that and KO15, but
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. So, but that's important. Hitting down afterwards makes you short hop a lot easier.
Yeah, if you struggle with just flicking up and then maybe just yanking it back down will help you a little bit.
It's harder to react to, so from this point of view, it's also safer. Yep.
Also, if you can pause real quick, one thing I like to do too is, like, say I'm trying to short jump forward or hyper hop forward or anything. I'll hold my stick in like the offensive corner in the 3 position, and then I can flick it up, and it just goes along the square edge that much more easily. But that only really applies also if you're a square gate.
Secretly sequel. Yep.
Oh, don't worry. There's a couple I made sure that he was like, I couldn't really edit this. So I was like, no, don't. Leave that. That's fine. And he's like, okay, cool. Because I don't have the original thing. Yeah, we got the SNKronize exclusive. All right.
So a hyper hop is done. So basically, a hyper hop is the short hop, but it's the super jump version
it's a
of
super
it.
short hop.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you hit down first, and that is what helps if you do the flick.
Oh, what's up, DandyJ? Speak of the devil.
There you go. Oh my god, it's DandyJ. So if you do the instant air dash shortcut used in most anime fighters, you will get a perfect short hop every time. Yeah, that's true, but I think it's just easier to just go.
It's a comfort level.
Right. It's you don't have to go that far to do that. And I think it's a little, and plus another thing too is if you learn to do up and then down, that also helps with the hyper hops eventually, because the hyper hops you can't hit down and then instant air dash, which is really awkward basically. So there you go. Yeah, and shout outs to DandyJ for even making this new edit. So I think that's super cool.
Yeah, really appreciate, like, this is a really good little collab of appreciation.
Yep. So, same thing he said there, down for. And like you said, how you were using 3, you can do short hops and
just do like 393.
Hyper hop. Yeah, exactly. 393 is actually a really good way to do that. So, DandyJ. Oh, DandyJ.
I'm gonna blame that one on autocorrect.
Yeah. I don't know, because J is at the end of it, so it shouldn't.
You'd be surprised what kind of nonsense you can get away with an autocorrect.
Just do a super jump, then quickly return to any downward direction. Your Savannah calling. And you can also perform a hyper hop by running and then
So 6, 6, 9, and then nothing.
Yeah, and then short hopping. Yep.
Waku Waku 7 guide. Yeah, let's go.
As you see, hyper hops are faster and travel even further than short hops.
I mean, can you imagine like someone getting new into Street Fighter and then they see this like, oh god.
Right. And that's the thing. So KOF, one of the things, like I said, is important about this tutorial is it's talking about how the game feels. And having these different 4 jump distances really changes your mobility options and really forces the opponent to think about it. Because, like, if you think about it, if Kyo was standing 1 Kyo back a little bit further,
Kyo back,
right?
A new unit of measure.
Yeah, 1 Kyo back.
back.
I mean, dude, when Street Fighter Second Impact, or was it Third Strike came out, when Urien first showed up, you know, the Aegis Reflector looked like the worst super in the world, right? Because we didn't know what the hell you were supposed to do. It was like, you reflect fire. We didn't know about unblockables or whatever. And so, like, me and my friends, including Cone, we used to joke that Aegis was a new measurement of damage. So it did 1 Aegis of damage because it was so useless and stuff. And then, of course, it turns out Aegis is like the most amazing thing. So... Well, yeah, so obviously, you know, with certain characters like Kyo, he does have a 2 move in the air, right? Yeah, but in general, if you don't have that and you want to get used to it, you want to do that as much as possible to help you get into the rhythm of being able to do this. So, but again, if you're 1 Kyo back, from that range, you could super jump and reach them. You can hyper hop and potentially be a threat if you have a long enough jump attack, or you can just short hop and it won't be within range, and then people will miss their anti-airs and stuff like that. Having all 4 of the jump options really changes how this game feels, and it's something that you have to really grasp in order to play the game. So
yeah, and I do agree that it tends to be a little more like anime than Street Fighter in terms of how neutral works.
Right.
But the thing is, a lot of people are probably going to go from Street Fighter to KOF. People who are like going from anime and might go to KOF, honestly, most of them have probably played KOF before because they're probably in the same corner of Evo.
Yeah, because Alias McDowell is actually probably right. Is the neutral has more in common with anime neutral than Street Fighter neutral in a lot of ways. And it's why actually when Under Night came out, a lot of people compared it to KOF more than they compared it to Street Fighter, even though there wasn't air dashing and super jumping and all that stuff. It still felt more KOF-y, right? So more mobility-based neutral. Yeah, look at this. This will help you do hops consistently. How many can you do without missing? By the way, super jumps and hyper hops can go forward or back, but not up. You can only normal jump or short hop up. Makes sense. As you may have guessed, these shorter jumps have a huge impact on gameplay. They make the pace faster and the game more offense-oriented than most others. But like I always say, the stronger the offense, the stronger the defense.
Fuck that mix up.
That covers the basics of jumping. Next up, the fundamentals of KOF combat. Fundamentals. Time to pick things up a bit. Let's talk about basic offense and defense in KOF. Since KOFS has a lot of jumping, you need to be familiar with jumping attacks. I'm sure you're all used to using different jumping attacks against ground or air. And KOF is the same way. The difference is hops make them great for poking. Let's start with attacks suited for offense. Here you see me use Hop B.
I like how he does it from Kyo's perspective. Here you see me use.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's so good.
It's a good button.
It aims downward, so it is effective for jumping in on a grounded opponent. Another example is Oriori's Hop C. Short range are great to hit someone below. A lot of air moves go horizontally and are more suited for defense and poking. A good example is my Hop D. It has long range, great for keeping opponents out.
Go back. Go back a little bit. Okay, and then get ready to pause.
Okay.
Watch you do your bird kick. Bird kick.
Oh.
Bird kick.
That was just something you gotta. If once you saw it on the edit, you're probably like, I have to reference this.
Oh no! I mean, the chat's also going in on it.
Yeah,
we all know
right?
it has to be pointed out.
Bird kick. Is that what bird kick is? Spinning by the kick.
No, just bird.
Yep, just bird kick. Pow! Get wrecked, bird. Okay. A good example is my Hop D. Has long range, great for keeping opponents out. Yep. Another is yours Hop B. It's very fast. It has long reach as well. So yeah, again, so Street Fighter, you see jumping is like an alternate way in. It's a way to sneak in kind of thing. And you do neutral jumps in a while, but literally in this game, you're just going to see people going...
You can.
Yeah,
It's also like, you're going to see a lot of times where someone's going to like stabilize themselves. Because you also have shit like close C or, stand heavy punch. It's a 4-frame normal. Like, whatever.
These moves are great against advancing opponents in the air or on the ground. Some attacks are good for both uses, such as Benimaru's Hop D, one of those cursed jump attacks that has been good in every game, right?
Benny's not allowed to be bad. That's why he jumps teams enough.
Right. It hits both below him and far in front of him. Attacks like these can make it much easier to play, so take note of them.
It does everything.
Lastly, there are moves that are used for high air-to-air, usually from a super jump. Speed is usually a key factor here. My super jump A is great to use for this. This type of attack isn't as important as the first three, but it's good to know about. So this is designed as an air-to-air intercept, essentially.
Yeah, it's just a super fast, good hitbox button.
Yeah.
You just do it.
As I showed earlier, short hops are a great way to start your offense, and they are difficult to react to. I also really like the highlighting of the text in this tutorial. So how can
He was good.
So how can you deal with this tactic? The most basic and fundamental counter to a hop is a standing light attack, usually with decent range at the head or shoulder lever. See my standing A? There you go. It is very fast and has great range. This move is perfect for stopping hops. So again, think of hops less as a jump, but more as a kind of like a horizontal attack at head level.
A low invincible poke.
Like a high, like a low crushing, poke from there. And that's a good way to think about it. So one of the advantages of regular jumps in other fighting games is they go so high that your normals don't hit them anymore. But in this game, having these moves that hit high like this is really important, especially fast, because it stops hyper hops like this. So
it's a good point. Is that stand Cs tend to be among or are the character's fastest button a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. They are also unsafe on hit, so you pretty much have to cancel them or do something with them so that you can make yourself less unsafe.
Right. So Ghost Pilot is saying that close Cs, and sometimes close Ds, but rare, is that when they tend to be the character's fastest attack, they also tend to be negative on hit to the point where they can be punished. So once you go for it, you've got to commit. Yeah. So there you go. So note two things. One, you don't risk as much by doing this move, and two, it is simple to do. Compare this to the attributes of a dragon punch, and you can see that a standing light attack is much more practical for stopping hops. Unlike a DP, you can do this move at virtually any time you want without risking anything if your opponent has to wait for you to do something.
Something emphasis on stupid.
Yeah. You might get the impression that doing a standing light attack carries no risk. Well, that's not true, of course, since everything has some risk, right? And that's important because if something has no risk, then it's overpowered in fighting games. It's just the way to state it. So what can you hit? What can hit you if you do a standing light attack in expectation of a hop? That's right, a low attack. I'm sure you know about these if you've played Street Fighter. A standing light attack leaves you vulnerable to a long-range low move. Long-range lows in KOF are used often, so you must use your judgment here. Someone hates Iori. Wow, you even have Iori emotes, dude? Oh my god, that's funny.
I respect that.
That's funny. Okay. Long-range low attack can be hit too. By what? In some other games, it could be different for each character, but in KOF, the answer is short hop, of course. And there you have your RPS. Remember these basic rules for combat in KOF. Short hop loses the standing light attack, which loses the long-range low attack, which loses the short hop.
Etc.
Again, every fighting game has to be this way. Every time I talk about fighting games and someone says, how do I deal with this? My answer is almost always, you don't. There's no answer to that. It depends on what your opponent likes to do, because if there's one, as I have always described, when someone asks me, how do I deal with this mix-up? If there's one answer, it's not a mix-up.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the there's the universal answer before that, just don't get knocked down.
Basically. So that's what illustrates the flow and feel of KOF's unique gameplay and what makes it unique. That's the big picture, so to speak. Now on to the basics of short hop offense. Short hop offense. Of course, unless someone is very predictable, many hops go unpunished. Let's expand on your options when you successfully hop in without getting hit. The simplest option is to attack, of course, and then combo into something. It'll get blocked often, so cancel into something safe and push them back. You can also stop early and go for a mix-up, which we'll cover in a moment. That's dirty. Like I mentioned, opponents will be blocking versus your short hops a lot.
Okay, well, actually, it's a good time to pause because we got a very good question.
What is that? Are KOF games usually heart or mind?
Definitely heavier on heart.
Yeah, definitely heart. And because of the short hops and all that stuff like that, I would also say a good amount of body as well. I think that there's a lot of like to move with the flow that you want to have in KOF with the controls of all the different jumps in there. You saw him say like, see how many you can do without missing one. There is a lot of body in this game to be able to control that.
Yeah, basically jumping how you want at all times is going to take execution.
Yeah.
You know, you can screw it up.
Right. Yeah, I kind of like that 60%, 20-20, you know. I mean, I would even not go that far. I maybe even do like 50, 30, 20 because
or 50, 20, 30.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of mind in most fighting games.
Yeah, it's always going to exist.
I mean, like, obviously, like they were saying, you know, frame data matters, close-up Cs are punishables and stuff like that. Yeah. But having it be kind of universal is nice. One of the things that makes a game like Street Fighter V confusing is that it depends on every character.
Yeah.
Colleen's crouching medium kick is plus on block for no goddamn reason. Anyways.
Yeah, or you get the stuff that's it's -3. So is it safe? Depends on who you're playing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's frustrating.
Yeah.
But most of the time it tends to be completely punishable or completely not.
Right.
So it's like, did they screw up?
Right.
And I definitely prefer that sort of thing, and it leads to a lot more heart play.
Is something videos like this get into that in-game tutorials usually don't is how you should be thinking about using the moves in the overall game system rather than just telling you how to use them.
Yes.
Exactly, Poogly Woogly. And that's what I was talking about, you know, about talking about the flow and why I hate tutorials in general. Even if they do tell you these things, nothing makes you learn better than, like I said, if there was just an in-game mini-game that forced you to, like, crouch and short hop to, like, kind of like them fighting herds had the one for Arizona where the ceiling had spikes on, so you had to short hop across platforms and stuff like that, you know. It was kind of neat. But, like, if there's just, like, a mini game where you just sit there and run and, like, things will come at you at certain heights. And
just straight up make KOF Cannonball minigame?
Dude, that's all I want in fighting games. Like I said, for Street Fighter, I wanted one where you just have where you start and you just walk to the right and you have to destroy all the wrecking crew blocks almost, right? But like some of them, like I have one, like an idea that just goes really fast. Like walls can either be destroyed by damage or number of hits. So you learn combos and you learn these things. And one of them would literally 50% flash between hittable and invincible.
And you had to confirm.
And you could only destroy it with a 3-hit combo. And so you had to confirm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things like that. And then like balls would fly at you from the top of the screen that you have to stand block. And if you low block it, you get hit, you know. And
yeah. I mean, KOF does have, like, mission modes and stuff, but they're always, like, Tech 5 throws. And you're not allowed to, like, walk away or jump. Like, okay, so I have to stand here, take the throw, and then that's all I'm looking for. That's not always helpful.
You want to gamify it.
Yeah.
That's why I always said break the targets and home run contest.
I mean, even actually Smash 5 has the one that's like running the little obstacle course and you can break bricks to like get more rewards. Or you can just keep running through. And I think that helps a lot with like mobility and movesets.
And they were also doing the thing, that mode where the mini game where you grab the power-ups and then you fight in the middle.
And then what was that, 3 or 4?
It was one of them.
I don't think it wasn't in 5.
That whole little thing there, I mean, I understand why they did that too, because that is trying to replicate one of the good things about MOBAs and stuff, where you don't have to engage the opponent right away.
Yeah.
You're doing your own thing, and then you finally engage them, and which is kind of nice. So, well, Mecha G, we had the Andy Bogard trailer on earlier. We've moved on to just going through this and helping people learn some stuff about how to play KOF here. Throwing is the simplest solution to this. Hop without attacking, then throw. So,
we got them empty jumps.
So, like I mentioned, opponents will be blocking versus your short hop a lot. So one thing important to note is that empty short hops and stuff like that don't have any delay on land, right? Inherently when they land.
Now, it's also worth noting, though, like, you're going to see him do the little mix-up here.
Oops, sorry.
Let's get to this first.
Right.
Yeah, actually, I'll wait a minute, because he's going to do something where, like, he's supposed to probably do, like, a short jump light kick and then short jump empty throw. You can get mix-ups like that. But if your first one has too much block stun, your throw won't work.
Right.
Because you're either going to be in block stun, or KOF, especially modern ones, have a huge amount of time where you're unthrowable after block stun or after a reset or wake up.
Okay.
So that basically that throw is only going to work if they try to roll.
Right. Okay. So throw ways be relatively easy.
Oh yeah,
to break.
OG alternate guard is also its own thing, but we're not going to talk about that because it's not really going to apply to everyone.
But they are still crucial. Okay. It's even better if your character has a command throw since you can't break it. Ugh. Another option after empty short hop is immediate low attack, so empty jumps. It's easier to defend against than throw, but for the most it leads to higher damage.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever gotten hit by empty jump low in Street Fighter V, now imagine a jump 1/3 the duration.
Right.
Like, oof.
In KOF 12, all normal throws have a miss animation, so a down plus B could be safer too. That's going to be true in 14 and 15 as well, probably?
It should not be.
Oh, yeah, okay.
14 was back to, like, forward C, forward D.
Right, yeah. Okay. Duck Helmet, this is just a tutorial on how to play KOF. That's all we're going through. So this is something we talked about last week. Someone asked what's the best place to learn. We said DandyJ's tutorial. He made a 2021 edit for us, and that's what we're playing here right now. So
12 is the only one that has a regular throw and throw whiff, right?
Hop throw versus hop low depends largely on the character you are using. For example, I have no command throw, but I can combo for my down B easily. So for me, hop into down B is my preferred option, but hop throw is good as well. On the other hand, Daimon has a very damaging command throw, and his down B is slow and doesn't combo into anything except his special command throw anyway. So for Daimon, short hop into throw is definitely the preferred option. Earlier I mentioned going for another mix-up when your hop attack is blocked. A common way of doing this is to hop again right away into another mix-up. So it's good to start here with a hop C plus D, blam, because of its long block stun. Right, so again, one of the reasons why you don't want to block jump attacks, the best way to describe that now is imagine if you blocked a move that was plus 15 on block. That means the opponent has 15 frames to do whatever the hell you want. So if you're used to fighting games now and know that in some fighting games, like in Street Fighter, if I said a move is plus 5, you're like, what? That's so good, right? Because if Honda EX butt slams you and you block it, he's plus 5. You're like,
Zangief just got a way to go plus 18 on block.
yeah, like why is this even cool? Well, jump attacks, the reason why they're so scary is because if you block them, a lot of the times your opponent is plus 10, plus 11, because you got to deal with this shit. And so with a hop CD, if you guys don't know, KOF always has CD, which is like the extra super buff button.
Like this move has a lot of block stun, and on hit, it is a knockdown end of combo.
Right. And so,
with some exceptions, obviously,
it causes longer block stun here. So when Kyo lands from this, Iori is going to be stuck in block stun for a very long time. So if you do hop CD like this late, and then you do your next hop attack a bit early, like it says here, bad. The opponent won't be able to interrupt the second hop attack with anything because of how plus it is on block. So that's a good way to think about it there.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to block certain things in KOF. It's also why KOF has an additional defensive option while blocking.
Yeah.
You have your own guard cancel CD. Yep. Takes a bar, but it tells someone to fuck off.
Right. Once you keep them honest, you can try to go for empty hops into hop mix-ups for damage. Yep. Hops can also be used for cross-ups. Usually this requires the opponent to crouch, but they only have to crouch long enough for you to pass over them. My hop B is a great setup for this with the right setup. Here are a few examples.
And you notice he's mixing different jumps in there. One of those is a hyper hop.
Yeah, there's a hyper hop right there. Some short hops will still pass over a standing opponent, like Benimaru's hop. Benimaru always has a higher jump than most characters.
Because Benny just tells you, I don't care about you.
Right. Yeah. With his hop D, it lets him do the same setups without needing them to crouch. This is like, it really should just be Benimaru with his hop D, ...
Yeah, like about
star.
That. Yeah.
With his hop D, star.
And actually, that's something that is worth noting, Ghost Pilot, is jump CDs are blockable low. They actually don't count as overheads.
Yeah. Okay. But then, yeah, they have long block stun enough that they're scary to deal with.
Yeah, and then in some games, some characters can literally use that as 80% of their neutral.
Right. These setups vary by spacing character, short versus hyper hop, so experiment. Yep.
Learn the feel, learn your character, get comfortable.
Next up, I'll go into more in-depth defending against short hops. Bunny jumps. Yep. I mean, some people, that was one of the nicknames that they listed, right?
Like a bunny hop.
Bunny hop, yeah. Defense versus short hop. Defense versus short hop. Let's cover some more counters against the short hops, including some scary ones. I mentioned using up hop attacks for defense before, but let's expand a bit. A hop attack for defense has some trade-offs versus other anti-air moves. It doesn't have a weakness to low attacks or much risk in general, but it's slower to come out, so if you're in a bad position, you may not have time.
Good old Yori jump team.
There's a lot of good grounded anti-air normals other than standing AB, especially C/D strength attacks that will get you a lot more damage. My down plus C is a perfect example. It's fast enough to counter a hop on reaction.
Uppercut.
Yep. The key word here is reaction. This move doesn't have good range or recovery, so you have to be sure that it will hit or else you're going to pay for it. Ah! And there you see, I was talking about how the different jumps, now you can jump at a shorter distance to cause attacks to whiff.
You just got spaced all
Like right
the fuck
here.
out.
Yeah, okay, well, this, unfortunately, the pause play is kind of bad here. But like reaction, so you can get them to whiff and then whiff punish them. Or if I just...
Sometimes the greatest mix-up is doing nothing.
Yeah. Another really popular standing move is Daimon Standing D. Look at that bad boy! It has great range, but loses to lows. Basically, it's a high damage stand A or B. DPing a jump in on reaction can be hard in most games with normal jumps. So it can be especially hard in KOF because of how fast short hops are. In other words, I will never be DPing.
Yeah, don't do it.
A short hop.
Don't do it.
I mean, for me
No,
in particular, for sure.
Just standing jam anti here.
Yep. You must be starting the motion for the DP when you expect a hop. But that is risky in the open because you have to stop guarding to do it. Kyo starts his DP motion. Ah! The damage from a DP compared to a CD versus hop usually isn't worth it. So stick to using DP versus higher jumps or on wake up where you can react naturally. You can use a super to anti-air, but only some characters have good ones. A desperation move, aka super, while more difficult to do, is usually worth it. Mostly because of the damage, but also because of the motions commonly cover back. So even though it takes longer to do, the motion lets you block at points. An example is Athena's Crystal Bit DM, desperation move, which is half circle back times 2 plus punch. That's a long motion, but it hits back to down back a couple of times, so you could have opportunities to stop and block. Start the motion for Crystal B, then react and complete if you see a hop.
Holy shit!
What is that? Is that what that said?
Yeah, just go frame by frame. He jumped! He hit the button!
He jumped! He jumped
the goddamn
push button! Holy shit! Okay. Yeah, see, that stuff doesn't need to be edited out. That's fine.
I'm 100% on board with that shit. I love it.
This is an important skill, even though a standing A and B is easy and... Do you see what is this cat doing? Easy and reliable. Being hit by 10 of those isn't as scary as eating 1 DM for making 1 mistake. But remember, you need to be ready to react when you expect a hop, not guess. It's easy to do nothing. Your opponent only has to wait a minute to own you. Get wrecked. The last counter is to short hop I'm going to cover is an option select. So again, well, he'll probably explain it a little bit. Option select means to do one thing to deal with multiple things in a specific situation.
Like, for instance, one of the really easy ones is just, like, say, for instance, back C. You can use that to punch someone in the mouth or potentially tech a throw.
Right.
Like the super simplified version.
I mean, one of the most famous option selects was in Street Fighter 4, the crouch teching. Because if you held down back and hit light punch and light kick at the same time, you would come out with crouching jab if the guy didn't throw you. Crouching short, you're right. The kick had the priority. That's right, it went that way. So you would come out with crouching short if the person didn't throw you. And so if they walked up to you to pretend to throw and did nothing, you crouching shorted, you crouching light kicked, and then you took the offense from them. And if they threw you, you would tech.
And it was especially good for characters who confirm off of a crouching light kick.
And so
I played Chun.
So the
I will
reason,
hit buttons.
So in Street Fighter 4, it was very important to learn how to frame trap, which was to time your button to hit them out of the startup of their crouching light kick, which was which was hard to do, and that's why that was such a powerful technique. But the reason why that's an option select is because in doing one motion, holding down back and hitting these two buttons, if they don't do anything, I do the right thing. If they throw, I do the right thing.
Yeah.
But the result is two different things. If they throw me, the right thing is that I tech. If they don't do anything, the right option is that I poke them and I've taken my turn now. So that's why it's called an option select. Parries and third strike are very common for option selects, in which, like, if someone jumps at you, you tap forward and throw. And if they like, you tap forward and jab or something, or jab.
There's a couple.
Yeah, there's a whole. Okay, let's just say if you're jumping at
fucking ST Hawk.
If you're jumping at somebody and you think they're going to uppercut you, you parry and then throw. That's the common one, from the air. Because if they uppercut, you parry, and then the parry freeze eats your throw input. You can land and punish them. If they do nothing, you'll land and try to throw, and then they can tech that, basically. Yeah. So you hit forward and throw, and you cover two things. You cover anti-air, and if they don't anti-air, right? Now, that doesn't cover if they jump up in the air and hit you out of the air early or whatever the case is.
I'm a huge fan of the really, like, poverty oldest option select in the game, which is using hit stop for it, where you do jumping heavy kick, fireball.
Yeah.
And if the jumping hip kick connected, hit stop prevents your fireball from working. You can do other things.
Right.
But if they walk or backdash out of range, then the fireball chases them.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's one of the classic Daigo option selects from Super Turbo, where he would do a safe jump, so that against Honda, because Honda's anti-air was, and it took a long time. So he would time it so that if you did jump heavy punch, he would do jump heavy punch, fireball, low short. And so if Honda blocked, jump heavy punch would hit, the fireball, the DP command would completely disappear. He would jump heavy punch, DP, short. The block stun in the air of Ryu freezing in the air would eat the DP input before he landed. Then he would land and go low short, keep his offense going. If Honda did the headbutt, he would start the headbutt, Ryu would land,
and then DP.
And the DP would register and he would hit it. So one motion covered both options. Yeah. So that's basically what the options.
Those are the ones that I'm always like, hit stop ones are great.
And then the other one, the most classic, most abusable option select is Vega Wall Dive. Right? If they're close enough, you throw them. If they're not, you stab them. Like, it's just super good. It's dumb. So
scrubbing bubbles.
Yeah.
It works hard so you don't have to.
Basically. So, sounds complicated, but it's simple. When your opponent short hops close up, wait until they are coming down, then press C while holding back to block. The result, you will block their hop in because you hit C after it connected.
You're always pressing C here. You'll just have to believe me.
Or 2, you hit them when they land because they went for an empty hop mix-up. It works because close C, close D for some characters, is extremely fast. But this special technique of pressing the C button does have its weaknesses. Again, if it didn't, it wouldn't be a mix-up. And most importantly, this won't work against instant or invincible command throws.
Which, layering back, if you ever talk to a KOF player, they will talk about grapplers are fucking scary in KOF, and they're allowed to be good.
Yeah, because grapplers in KOF aren't like, oh, we're not going to give them the dash. Like, they have all the jumps.
There's like, you're not going to take up half the screen. You're not limited on mobility tools. You know, we just get to do things like any other human.
Right.
Yeah.
So, close C, it's nowhere near instant. Whew, that's enough defense for now, but let's focus. So again, just to see this a little bit more.
Exactly, you can actually do things.
Yeah,
God forbid.
But see here, you see Iori trying to hit, but he gets thrown. So let's focus some more on offense over here.
Yeah, and the thing is like, it's not even like as broken a Blender or Vortex as some other games. It's just like, you have to do the right thing. And you can get shut down by the grappler player just playing well.
Right, and then...
But you don't get fucked.
Right, and that's the thing again.
Okay, 14 Marys is its own topic, because 14 Mary isn't even a grappler anymore. It's more about, like, cross-up flip kick meaty. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do about that?
I mean, and again, it's just the nice thing about it is because KOF has just so many different options, like the block rolls and just rolls in general and stuff like that.
But rolls are not throw immune, so...
Yeah, that's true. Offense expanded. Let's cover some simple, effective tactics before we get to heavier stuff. Some characters have instant overheads, which is no surprise with short odds. If you don't know, there are air attacks done on the way up to hit a croucher. These are air attacks done on the way up to hit a croucher. They're usually impossible to block on reaction, so of course they're useful.
Dude, I miss 11 Rouse command grab where he has fucking guard point.
Oh god, that's right, that's right. I can do it with Hop B. Daimon can do it with Hop D, though it is a bit slower. Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. You let the grappler have a really good instant overhead. Let's go.
They hit easily, but end your offensive momentum. Great for finishing a round. What's up?
Clark in general is scary. I truly fear a good Clark. You need harsh language, a crowbar, and a restraining order to get him off you.
There you go. Or when you think you know the next hit will stun the opponent. Stun isn't in KOF 12, but it is in 15. We have had that confirmed. Bong. Some instant overheads can only be done straight up, like Kim's vertical jump C.
Why does that work, by the way? Look at that move.
Cause Kim. Those vertical only ones should be used only to KO Sun since they are unsafe. Yeah, get wrecked. Which attacks work for this will vary in KOF 12, so be sure to test and experiment. Oops, I'm sorry.
Experiment.
Yeah, test and experiment. Experiment Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then some characters like Leona can combo into supers with it.
In some games, yeah.
Yeah,
because
14 she definitely could.
Yeah, instant overhead jump A into V slasher. You're like, well,
because I definitely use that a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's one of her main things. Another simple effective offensive option is an ambiguous roll crossover. If you played a good bit of CVS2, you probably know all about this one.
James.
Yeah. Roll before your opponent gets up. Roll so that you roll right onto. That's a great frame. Because that's perfect. Like,
where is he?
Left or right? It was still one of my favorite. The favorite quotes was there was a video of Combo Fiend at his Combotorium before he joined Capcom playing Marvel against Noel. And he did a mix-up, and Noel was like, "What side was that?" And Combo Fiend's response was, "The side that hit you, son." What side was that? The side that hit you, son. And I love that, dude. Oh god, it was so amazing. Done correctly, it'll be hard for the opponent to tell which side you're on. Ah. That's gross. Timing is important. Roll too early and it'll be easy to tell what side you're on. Roll too late and you may eat a throw or worse, get interrupted. Gross! The mix-up serves more purpose than to make the opponent guess which side. Even if they block it, chances they are only thinking about blocking and not about using a dragon punch or some other invincible move on wake up. You can use this openly to get wild with your offense and really burn it up.
I like how that broke you. Burn it up.
Is that what he says?
That's like it's things that can go into this.
Okay,
just let it rock.
okay. But so
get really wild.
If you listen to me on commentary, what
I love the chat just going in on it.
If you listen to me a lot on commentary, you'll often hear me say something, "Oh, nice, he turned the left-right mix-up into a throw-hit mix-up." You know, I will say he turned the high-low mix-up into a throw-hit mix-up. And that's essentially what this is. You turn the left-right mix-up, and because the way to stop a left-right mix-up is to find which way to block properly, and then you turn it into a throw-hit mix-up, you're subterfuging one... It's subterfuging, whatever. It's distracting you from one mix-up to the other. Look, speaking of distracting here, I'm getting this guy off the screen. Okay.
Oh, let him rock.
Learn which throw attacks can... Actually, you know what? I'm going to...
Anyways, so yeah, so one of the things is like in Street Fighter V, you do have wake up to throw or wake up invincibility to throws, much like KOF. That does not apply to when you're reset midair.
Right. Yeah.
And so sometimes you're gonna like anti-air a dude. You can walk right under him. He's like, oh god, is this a left right? And then you get thrown.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one of the powerful tools of those is turning one mix-up into another. Like even in Marvel, where you had to worry about a high-low mix-up on someone, and then they just walk up and throw you, right? Or a common situation like crouching light kick, and then all of a sudden they walk up and it's like, oh shoot, I'd better try, this is a throw-hit mix-up, and then you do like Akuma's jumping punch, or the, or like Ibuki's towards heavy kick, towards medium kick, which is an overhead. You kind of change it from one mix-up to the other.
Even in that same situation Daimon had with the roll at the left right, he could have just done his instant overhead.
Right, exactly. So he would have
turned. What are you gonna do?
That's a great example right there of turning the left right mix up into a high low mix up, and so that's all it is. And then there's characters like Milia where it's like all of them all at the same time. 100%.
What mix up did you do? Yes.
Yeah. Basically, learn which throws and attacks can't be rolled and allow enough time to do this. I like how he always uses the point. Even if someone lacks a setup, you can still react to an untech not. Wait, what did you say?
Untech knockdown.
Untech knockdown.
Because you can roll on impact with the floor as long as it's not a hard knockdown.
Okay.
There are a handful of hard knockdowns.
Even if someone lacks a setup, you can still react to an unrolled knockdown. And see, perfect example there. What side is he on? Oh, I was gonna say he was on the front.
Get wrecked.
So I got hit. Even if someone lacks...
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. If I'm mixing you up and I don't know where I am, that is the best mix-up.
Yeah. Being able to predict which side someone wants to choose is like me getting hit by a reversal edge in Soul Calibur. I try to be random, but somehow I'm always wrong. But if I had a button that was game, pick one for me, I would do better. Yeah. I would actually do better.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember that was one of the big topics with Justin Wolverine in early Marvel 3. It's like, I don't know what side I'm on. I don't know when Akuma's hitting you. It's just gonna work. Whatever. That's the best mix-up.
And PR Rog actually said the way that he would pick certain situations a lot of time is he would literally just picture a virtual dice in his head. And he would just be like, 6. That equals this, do this, like that's what actually he would do. So instead of equating it to an option, he would just be like, this number, I'll do that one. And then that made it harder to predict him.
And yeah, KOF does have a hell of a lot more hard knockdowns than Street Fighter does now.
Yeah. All right. An early hop-in attack can be effective against over-aggressive players.
Shut the fuck up.
Use horizontal attacks here, preferably CD strength ones for more block stun. Iori's Hop D is a great example. It hits above him at first, then slightly lower. Looks sloppy, but it has some benefits, like there's less time to anti-air it standing. It stops hops and lets you do a mix-up, even a cross-under with the right angle. Oh, Jesus. So here we go. This is the, I rewound it a little bit here. So this is where he turns it into boom, command grab, left right mix up. If the opponent is standing, they will just block the attack, keeping you safe. You might have the advantage depending on the timing and angle of your attack.
Then trades.
But a trade is most likely if you both go for a close C. Use your judgment.
That is such a great Iori emote, just him laughing.
I could actually kind of do that now.
You got enough hair for it?
But a trade... Okay, yeah, anyways. An instant invincible throw will win here, but you can always jump again to bait it. This tactic can also be anti-aired by a crouching B. More on that later, because the move runs out of active frames in the air.
And you low profile a little bit.
Yeah, and you low profile it. And, again, one of the nice things about modern fighting games is we have very easy ways to describe everything now. Because saying it runs out of active frames makes everybody go, oh! And it just makes sense now. So it's just kind of nice. So don't use it versus a defensive opponent or someone who uses the ground mostly. Let's cover close C and D. It's important to note how powerful this attack is. For almost everyone, their fastest normal will always be close C or D. The importance of this move is amplified by KOF's 12 new critical counter system.
It's definitely not crush counters, I promise.
And does this exist in 14?
Nope,
Yeah,
this
so
is 12 exclusive.
Oh, okay. It lets you do a ton of damage if you interrupt. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here's a few ways to get an opponent to eat a counter. Hit close CD. Down A bit, close C, yep, common string that looks interruptible but isn't. If they try to hit a button after blocking, they will get hit. Yep, that's a frame trap. Do a hop in early enough to leave just enough time for the opponent to act. So that's how just enough time. So basically the way I used to describe frame traps before we had nomenclature, I would do it to my brother with Bishojo. I would do low jab, and then give him enough time to hit a button and then interrupt him with low jab and stuff like that. My brother would be like, why do I keep getting hit? And the way I described it was, I'm just giving you enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's the classic.
Yeah, giving yourself enough rope to hang yourself, and that's basically what it is. I'm just giving you enough. That's why a true block string can't be a frame trap, because there's no rope to hang themselves. If you give them 2 frames to start a move, then they have enough rope to get hung, basically. Pow. If they hit a button after, just remember from before that a good command throw can beat this clean. Yay!
Whoa.
I'm the best. You can do another ambiguous roll mix-up, but time it just a hair late. So if your opponent thinks that they have time to interrupt you, even though they don't. Got it.
Also, don't make any real mistake here. Street Fighter V didn't copy crush counters from KOF12. First off, nobody played KOF12. Secondly, it's kind of more like some of the heavy counters from anime games.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Street Fighter V was made by a Guilty Gear player.
Yeah, but also remember that anime games almost kind of took it from Alpha 3. Which is one of the first...
Well, okay, now, I mean, if we're going to go that far back, let's not forget that Street Fighter 2 invented counter hits.
Yeah.
Because it was there to tell Blanca to go fuck himself.
Yeah, I guess it's true. But he lost that damage even on block anyway, so... But yeah. We're almost done. Next, rolls in general and ways to keep your offense tight.
Tight like a tiger. Yeah, a bunch of games have a special counter system. Like, a heavy enough button on counter hit is going to do dumb shit.
And frankly, honestly, the first fighting game that may have even had it was the Tekken series. Or Tekken Virtual Fighter. Virtual Fighter might have been the first one that has counters hits. Yeah. Rolling. Wonder when I'm going to talk about rolling? Well, that's right now. Let's cover the basic properties, then I'll get into how they fit into the game. I'm guessing you know that rolls are done with A plus B. Now you definitely do. You could roll forward with A plus B or forward A plus B and backwards with back and A plus B. Now, so far, none of the footage that we've seen of KOF 15 has shown a back roll. So we do not know if they exist right now.
Yeah, that is still a very bizarre thing. We don't know if we have rolls.
Is
this rollback? Also, yes, sexy saxophone.
Sexy saxophone. 14, was there back rolls?
Of course.
There was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember. Okay.
There's only like one game that's really changed the formula on dashing and rolling since they got rid of dodge.
Okay.
And that's pretty much, 99 changed how backdash works.
Right. Because, I mean, that was the tricky thing, because CVS did not have back rolls. Right, CVS 2 did not have back rolls. They only had forward rolls. So if your frame of reference is CVS and CVS 2, you don't have that, basically. So
yeah, I mean, I still like when some games even changed how like Oki rolls worked. Like almost every KOF, you can only back roll as your way of teching the.
Right, yeah.
KOF 11 said, "Fuck that, you can tech forward now." Like, all right, so we marvel now. All right.
Rolling while running travels further, but it keeps its length of time. So it's a distance, but not a timing. Rolls are invincible to attacks from the very start and vulnerable at the end.
By the way, that means physical and projectile attacks.
Right. But always vulnerable to throws. You can use them as a reversal on Wake Up. Common uses of rolls are to pass through fireballs or to avoid a mix-up. It's It's hard to show when and when not to roll without using many examples. And there's another example of why short hop into empty short hop into throw is important. Because if you're always attacking to try to get that pressure with your godlike Benimaru jump D, the guy's going to roll through every single time.
And then you can just throw the roll.
Right.
Also, for the record, 99 also has a lot of really good art, so you shush. I love 99 in every way except playing it.
So you'll have to settle for just a few, but the best way to learn is to play! Because you will only truly get used to using and punishing them by experience. Here you see me throw an A strength fireball from full screen. Bad place to roll, your opponent wants you to roll here. Don't give it to them!
Which kind of leaves it as the opposite of Street Fighter, because you gotta be really careful about full screen fireballs, and you're fine with them point blank.
Right, yeah. Hop the fireball? Much better. Remember, using hop stops advancing opponents. There you go. This one is a lot faster, won't be able to get there in time. So the situation is neutral, not a bad start for working your way in. So learning to recognize if it's a heavy fireball or a light fireball is important. And that's the standard situation. Like Guile, the reason why he's scary is because he can follow a sonic boom.
Oh yeah, the boom armor.
Yeah, the boom armor. So
yep.
It's kind of the same thing. If you throw the light fireball, it takes a while to get to you. So if you roll to get late enough to get through it, they can punish you for that.
I really hope Ash can do that again in 15. Under the assumption
here's
Ash
the ambiguous roll setup from before. Reversal roll can be good here. Be wary of rolling away on wake up because there's usually a punish to because there's usually time to punish.
Yeah, if you try to wake up roll a jump in, they have enough time to autocorrect and meaty you out of your you're just gonna die.
Reversal roll is always an option, but just the same, it's usually a risky one. It's important to judge when it's safe to roll, as well as being ready for them. Also, shoutouts, because I know as a content creator, the fact that DandyJ was able to succinctly put most of these things in a sentence that fit in the box is really important. Because I can barely live on 280 characters for a tweet right now. You know what I mean?
Which is double what we used to have.
Yeah, I know.
Back in the Stone Age.
Let alone this, so, If you are a beginner, a lot of rolls are going to get by you unpunished. But the more you play, the more reacting to rolls will become natural to you. We're almost finished. You know how I talked about how bad my reactions are and everything like that? That's how I always died in CVS too. There was always
someone's just gonna roll.
One person in particular knew I never reacted in time, so they would just roll super me 100% of the time. Because I would always try to react. I would always hit the jab, and then I'd get supered in the face every single time because my reactions are awful, even if I'm waiting for it. We're almost finished. I'll leave you with a few ways to keep offensive control.
So, back roll, you're right. Back roll is pretty good in mid-screen against jumps, but that's also one of the reasons why I lose to, Yuri or Orochi Yashiro, is because they have that chase down command grab.
Oh.
It's literally a running command grab. So if you roll, you still might be fucked.
Right. Offensive defense. There's a couple of more ways to anti-air someone that are very essential to KOF. One is with crouching B, which I talked about before, versus early hop attacks. Some are better than others, like Iori's down B. It actually shrinks his height, so it can beat a lot of horizontal air attacks even when they are done late. But any proper jump in with a low angle like my hop B will beat it every time. You can also run under and down B from behind as they land with almost anyone. Even if they don't perform a move in the air, the opponent will not be able to block. In other words, they do not have a trip guard. So you are
I've been waiting for this moment.
punishing their landing frames. You are punishing their landing frames because they don't have trip guard.
Also, yes, if you do that, they are back turned, so Iori's going to eat your soul.
Oh,
yes. Okay. Because this game actually does have physics for back turn, or more accurately, doesn't change in the way other games do.
Right. I mean,
it's an SNK staple.
Yeah, I was about to say, this has been true for every KOF, basically.
Well, I mean, Samurai Showdown has back turn infinite.
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah.
So this is a factor. Like, 03 had led to Dualon being horrifically broken.
Another way to run under anti-airs is with close C. Wow, this move again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, factoring combo is legit.
Yeah, this one is more suited for hitting an opponent earlier or higher in the air, especially if they reach upward. Iori's close C is practically made for this. This is an important tactic to know because it helps on multiple fronts. You can advance on the ground while having access to an effective anti-air. Close C is especially good because it can stop hops from the front as well. Well, folks, this is it. Perhaps we can get more in-depth when KOF15 drops. If you are playing KOF 98 or King of Fighters 2002, which is actually relevant today.
Yeah, strangely, that one's totally fine.
In the meantime, check out the SRK wiki.
Man, I really wish we had like thought more ahead on that one and just done really bad dubbing. Like, if you're ready to play when KOF 15 drops.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, O2UM. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Later.
98.
So there you go. That's DandyJ's tutorial, produced by DandyJ. Music from King of Fighters and Neo Turf Masters. Special thanks to Dune and all contributors to KOF 98 Crazy Encyclopedia. So.
There we go, baby.
This is where the Turf Masters music is. I'm golf pro Robert Landell. You'll have to excuse my behavior. I just made a really sick putt. Beautiful day, isn't it? I just love playing here. So you wanted some golf tips? You're in luck because I've got some great ones. Just forget all that fighting king stuff. It's way too violent for my taste. Well, what are you waiting for? Time for you to play some holes with the champ.
So yeah, it definitely wasn't removed. So that used to be the start of the second video, and this used to be 2 videos long.
Right.
But he said with the edits, he threw that at the end just to make sure it wasn't lost to time.
Okay, got it. And there you get. Looks like there's the channel right there that Scorch just put in the chat. I'll try to remember to put this into the description of the YouTube video.
So with that in mind, I'm actually planning on talking about Shoryu Game later on.
Oh, okay.
So just for clarity on that.
Okay.
Because I love Shoryu Game.
Okay.
I think I might have even mentioned him a little bit last week, just a tiny shout out, because when I was talking so much about lore.
He's the one with all this stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've made James sit through like half of this guy's catalog already. Get him a bit more caught up on all the KOF lore. I really like Shoryu Game stuff. And his opinion of Mary being best girl.
Well, no wonder you like him.
That's the only reason I found out about him, is one of my friends is like, so this guy did a top 10 list of KOF waifus, and he put Mary in first place. That's really good objective thoughts.
I mean, maybe we
like,
should... Let's save Shoryu Game for next week.
Yeah.
Let's save him for next week.
That's the idea.
Okay. Next week, can you two play KOF and apply the lessons learned tonight? I mean, I guess I can try.
Yeah, I mean, so we were originally going to, but then we decided we were going in on the DandyJ video,
right,
and like we just turned a 20-minute video into like an hour.
Right.
Like, besides, we still need to get you squared up with a copy of 98 in some fashion,
or one of these games in any case. So yeah. We probably won't play tonight, because we just mostly talk about cool lore and all that stuff like that. But, I mean, we'll probably just play a little bit just to kind of give some examples of what to do and stuff. So I
mean, I could theoretically just bring up my PS4 for O2UM if I really wanted or something like that.
So
actually, I take it back. No, I think I have all of my KOFs on Steam mostly.
Yeah. I mean, I can bring it up on Steam. I could do it on PlayStation, etc. So Andres, I mean, I could probably ask maybe to see if I can get a hookup for some of these games or something like that. Because honestly, that's like I have. Why are you surprised? Look, Andres, I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm an. Here we go. I am an esports guy. And I am making esports money, which
means not much.
Which basically means I am currently poor up the butt right now. I mean, when the year started, I told...
Isn't that a butt chug?
A butt chug?
Pour up the butt?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I mean, the reason, like, Mike was like, hey, come check out all the cool Zen Market stuff and see if you want anything. And I was like half paying attention because I didn't want to see anything that I wanted. This is where I'm at this point right now. So
he resisted letting me buy him things because he's like, if I can't afford it, I shouldn't have it. I don't want to see it. No way.
Yeah. So it's rough, man. It is really, really rough. Now it's better because I actually got back on unemployment, but unemployment's only going to last for so long this year. And if nothing changes, then it all...
hopefully we can just get everyone another extension.
Yeah. However, if you guys do enjoy the content that I'm producing, and if you want to subscribe, donate, or gift sub, that's why I have the goal of 250. Because the thing about it is, honestly, like, 250 subs is what again? I just want to make sure. It was like, you'd be surprised at how sad it really is too, right? So 250 subs is about $600 a month, right? So that's great for how much I'm making right now. Still not even that much, but that's why I have the 250 goal for by the end of June, before July. See if I can get there by half a year so that I can actually, maybe the Twitch will actually be able to support my esports life here. You like Soul? Do you like all these things here, Nathan? So, click on James's Steam friend request.
I don't have access to his computer. I can see it, but it's not in like my physical range.
All right, I'm gonna open up Steam. Why do you have several copies?
Why don't you?
How does this happen? I don't understand. Oh, shoutouts to Empire Tuggles McMuscle Buns. Like, that name got better as I kept saying it. Like, the EMP...
Oh, no, I read it earlier, and I'm just like, I'm struggling.
Yeah, EMP, then Tuggles, and then you think it's like McMuscles, but then there's the buns at the end. It just keeps getting stronger as it goes. So, EMP, Tuggles, McMuscle Buns. Thank you for the subscription. Am I online right now? I am online.
Message box. You have a
5
friend
new
request.
Invites. Yep, nothing.
There you
access. Go. All right, I have accepted. I should accept.
Oh yeah, and get Buff Swagwell as well.
Do you know who that is?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know who Buff Swagwell is, so there you go.
How many Hulks are there?
How many? What?
That was Hulk on his profile icon, and it's a gray Hulk.
Oh.
You know who that is. There you go. You know who that is. James already owns King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match.
Wait, what? I do?
And yes, Strive got delayed. In favor of lobbies, I assume. Dude, and you have 98. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I guess I do have them already.
Yeah, you got 98 UMFE, got 02 UM.
I even got 13. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, I have 13. I'm not sure I've played it.
Okay, well, you know what? I must have bought them a long time ago when they were on sale.
Fat sales.
Yeah, back like years ago. I probably just bought it and didn't even realize it. Okay.
Yeah, we should install 98 UMFE.
Yeah, I'll install it. it. So.
Yeah, because I mean, I've really been enjoying 98 UMFE specifically. Also, because I'm a terrible person and I like just playing Riot Leona every so often because she's adorable and has some of the greatest sound effects. Even if she's busted and stupid, she's still fun.
All right, well, there you go. Why do you have a Parsec machine with 98 UM? Didn't that get rolled back? Oh, 98 UM has not got it. Okay. Okay. Any case.
Yeah, see emphasis on not yet.
Yeah.
God willing, eventually. But,
yeah.
I mean, we still don't have another port of UMFE either. Like the PS4 has 98 UM, but not FE. And I'm like, oh.
I mean, I know that's a depends on who you are, whether you like 98 UM or 98 more, right? Or.
I mean, I don't think there's that many people who like overtly prefer UM to vanilla.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
But there's basically like I'd prefer to play the one that has the most characters and the efforts on balance.
Right.
But a lot of people are still going to defend Vanilla 98 more.
I mean, Vanilla 98 is also one of those games
Yeah.
that, like, it's like Super Turbo. Like, yes, do I know Super Turbo was busted as fuck? Yes. Do I care that it's busted as fuck? No. I'm still gonna play it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 98 UM isn't this vast improving change like the way 02 UM is way better than Vanilla 02.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And the funny thing is, I'm still not like that attached to 02 UM either. Also, like, I feel really bad for Melee getting nerfed into Oblivion.
Oh. Oh, man. But yeah, so in case you guys missed it earlier, Andy Bogard was announced. He looks beautiful here, so we can.
That man is gorgeous.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Play.
Oh, probably too loud. Remember the DandyJ video? Like,
Yeah, but you want it. You want that part loud. See, like that.
that sound does that.
Bogard.
Yeah, no, the net positive on 02 UM is definitely.
Yeah, I just like the outfit, dude. I just really like the outfit. Oh, I'm sorry.
KOFXV.
You know, I mean, I'm really happy about Andy getting his old theme back and all, but I was
All
way
expectations.
I love Joe's.
Actually, come to think of it,
The poem from Thailand or whatever. I can never remember the proper name of that song.
this is the original teaser trailer.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. You can compare the eyes.
Yeah, I just wanted to compare the eyes.
Yeah, do it.
I think this is the one, right? Because this is 25 seconds. Or is this too short? Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the initial tease that the game exists.
Oh, okay. So this is a different one here.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking for this one right here. This
Yeah,
is the one.
the
This is
reveal.
This is the one. Yeah, this is the one.
For science!
I mean, it's, you know, obviously it's Mai, so it's like, yeah, let's check out Mai.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's
but
seriously, like, it's night and day.
yeah, but it's still good for just research and understanding where the game is going, right? There we go. So okay, so she
Yeah.
did have the belt details on there before,
But
even
she's
her,
definitely had, like, everything from her waist up has been overhauled and updated.
yeah, and her face actually looks different.
Yeah.
Her face actually looks different.
Like,
right?
just
So-
bring it up in a new tab.
yeah,
do a
that's what
side by
that's
side.
Exactly
yeah.
what I was about to do.
Yeah,
so.
side by side. Actually, you're going to have to pop it out into its own window if you want to do side by side.
Yeah, of course. She's so cool.
Yeah, like night and day.
Yeah, it's pretty significantly different there. He looks so worried, dude.
Like, oh, shit.
Oh god, it's so funny.
Oh man, I'm in trouble.
Actually, I should bust it out into its own window.
That's
like
what I was
this.
saying.
No, I mean, okay, never mind. I'm just.
Bruh.
Oh god, I'm sorry. Okay, so if we do that and go over here,
Whoops.
that's just what Windows wants to do.
Yeah, it's trying to do the docking thing.
Yeah, And then where was the other
There
one?
you go.
There's this one here. Like so. And then, oh god, you stupid Windows. I hate Windows! Oh god, it's so annoying. Okay, fuck you, Windows. I'm so tired of you, Windows. And then get the other one over here. Yeah, see, they look pretty different.
Yeah.
You can see a difference here.
Yeah, there's been so much fine tuning.
Yeah, even just like the sheen of the textures and stuff like that look a little bit better on the newer one as well.
I mean, that also might be the stage lighting, so
That's
that
true,
one will take some time to be sure.
Yeah. There you go. So. Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like things I'm still curious about. Like, you know, saying Kenso, like I'm really wondering what Psycho Soldier's gonna look like. And God help us if we get Bao back.
Psycho Soldier? What do you mean? The team Psycho Soldier?
Athena, Kenso,
oh yeah,
etc.
I mean, how did Ralph and Clark look in 14? Were they still super beefed up? Or?
They were jacked, but they weren't the mass monsters they were in 13.
13, okay. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't quite hulked.
Okay.
Oh no, there's definitely a lot more NPCs and stages since the reveal.
Yeah.
But that got updated by like the second or third trailer.
Yeah. And Gofinobi, like, it's hard to say whether they'll fix the animation for the older characters because I'm sure trying to get 45 to 50 characters out on launch is important for them, and they're one company, so you know how much is like. Would we rather have more characters with slightly
Someone's
not...
asking about your Johnny.
Oh, the Johnny, yeah.
Like, they could definitely recognize Soul, and they're like, what's next to that?
Yeah, that's Johnny. Johnny's Fondy. Here you go. You know, the only Johnny figure that exists in...
As far as we know, anyway.
Yeah, that just completely... I like how every streamer basically has to have a cat... their cats as an emote. Like it's like
that's
required.
because the cat is going to be a major part of the stream.
No matter what you do,
can't control
yeah,
them and be like, no, I don't want you on camera now. It's gonna be like, hi, food time. Wow, that was a dramatic get the out of there.
Yeah, that's how she does it. She knows.
Yeah,
she knows. She's completely ready for that every single time. So. Okay.
So, I think that about does it for the day.
Yeah, I think so. We can probably call it a night then. But again,
let's see. So next week we've got another character. We might try to squeeze in some more matches, some actual matches, and mess around with some of the concepts, improve concepts and stuff. Try to showcase at least one more content creator, and might try to have Kitty on the show, depending on how things line up with the schedule and around the world.
So I'm just gonna throw this up here again. But thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we'll probably try to shout out Show You Game for sure.
I think that's going to be the end goal.
But definitely follow SNKronize, as you can see on the top of this page right here.
Or you can see in the chat as well.
Yeah.
If you're watching us live.
Follow this on Twitter for more information. And tune in next week for more fun.
There we go.
For more fun KOF SNK talk and such. That's right. One thing I did want to also say was that I don't know if I'll start tomorrow. I'll see how lazy I am or if I'm ready for it. But I do want to do... So I have the Soul Cal distancing for Soul Calibur 6. I wanted to start that up for Samurai Showdown as well. A casual winner stays on, like token queue kind of thing.
Going back to the arcade days.
Yeah. So what I do with Soul Cal distancing is I have a token queue.
That's a pretty good call.
Okay. Stormy saxophone is what it's actually called.
Yeah, but there's like a billion different versions of it.
The problem with it is like I have to find one that won't get us DMCA'd, right? I mean, that's...
Just don't use the Smash one. You should be fine.
Just don't use the Smash one. So how about this one? Or should I do this one?
Yeah, just do the 96 arranged. That works.
So there you go.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's true. You can't get DMCA for KOFers, it's true. But I might try to do that. I'm gonna call it Sam Show Sword of Online.
Sort of.
Yeah, Sword of Online. Exactly.
Definitely double meaning.
So
sexy.
That's the goal. If I start it, just keep an eye on it, and we'll get that set up for you guys. But in the meantime, thanks for tuning in again to the Chensor Dynasty, to SNKronize. Make sure you stay safe out there, social distance, and Don't forget, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Please, everybody, stay safe out there.
Wear a damn mask.
Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. Party on. Oh, there we go.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!